season, and it is the Group 3 Missile Stakes for the sprinters, and it is a good field of sprinters going around here. At this stage, Dreamscape.
I'd love to own Dreamscape. Love to own Typhoon Z. Love to own any of them. They are. This is a pretty. Yeah, Kroner. Yeah, don't worry. This is a very more than handy.
Z is running second. Spirulina on the inside, and then came Biscayne Bay out a little bit wide. Dreamscape is tracking up in the middle in fifth spot, followed by Kamepsa. 2 or 3 to Wallanana. She's already being pushed along. Teasing's run up to join it from Kroner Fritz's Princess, and Flushing Meadows is last into the straight, and Gold Trail led. Typhoon Z coming after it under the whip. They're 3 or 4 lengths in front of Spirulina and Dreamscape, but Gold Trail's gone further ahead inside the 200. He's about 3 lengths in front. Typhoon Z second. Teasing is coming out of the pack as the only possible danger. Gold Trail in front. He's starting to walk. Look at Teasing. She jumped down to the ground and got up and won. Teasing won it from Gold Trail. Typhoon Z third. Then Fritz's Princess, Dreamscape, Wallanana. Followed further back behind them by
Gold Trail, who looked to be 21.20, the Inglis interims, and 4.10, 3.30 for Gold Trail and 1.90.
They were the runs of the race. Headway, come hither.
Face the Group 2, the JJ list, and all the action down the bottom here with Typhoon Tracy on that first page, Orange, for the listing.
Who got you? New Silks today. Predatory Pricer is Mr. Baritone, Mr. Baritone, a half to Gallica, and then came Orange County, Predatory Pricer. 2 lengths, Who Got You, Heart of Dreams, about 2.5 to Red Ruler is to Kareem, and Zarita last, a strung field coming around the home turn, led by Jungle Ruler. Sandsweeper after it, 2 lengths to Typhoon Tracy, called on, and they're followed then by Stick 10, running on Mr. Baritone next, and then came Gallica. Jungle Ruler from Sandsweeper, Typhoon Tracy now, let's go with the run. Stickpin Orange County are next, and then Mr. Baritone, who's badly tightened for a run. Typhoon Tracy in front. Here's Who Got You and Predatory Pricer. Thereafter Typhoon Tracy. Predatory Pricer grab the lead. Who Got You, God get him. Predatory Pricer ahead. Who Got You and next Typhoon Tracy. The Dreams ran fourth, and they're followed then by running on Ruler with a big run down the outside. Jellicoe the next one home, followed by Zarita, who made up many lengths.
It's finally coming through. You've got him in everything. Is a Cox Plate and Oliver Gold or the Cups of Gold?
Well, one owner wants the Cox Plate and the other one wants the Caulfield Cup. I know we can, but I'd
Baritone were pulled up inside there, but the 4-year-olds, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't very often happen in a listing, and generally it's a good sign if the 4-year-olds can dominate the way they did yesterday. And I think we might see a spring where Predatory Pricer, Who Got You, and Heart of Dreams have a number of memorable clashes, I suspect. Mind you, that we just mentioned.
The race really went according to script there. All the favourites won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look back, the meeting on the 21st of March, Coolmore Classic Day at Rosehill Gardens, that's the form that stood up because first, second and fourth there trifected the Far Lap Stakes. Yeah. And on the same day, Typhoon Tracy won the Coolmore Classic. And all that form is stacked up in one race there. But I thought Typhoon run.
the markets and movers, starting with the Caulfield Cup. Predatory Pricer into favouritism now with Sporting Bet at $10. Vigor very good yesterday, a big firmer down. She was the favourite going into yesterday at $7. He is the favourite now, tightened up in the Found Beauty. She won again this week. There's the market for the Melbourne Cup was $4. $12. Let's have a look at Profound Beauty. She won again this week. There's the market for the Melbourne Cup with Sporting Bet on there. A lot of international. This is the Carra Cup. Profound Beauty. Dermot Wells still foxing. I might bring her. Of course she'll be here. She fifth in the Cup last year. She's unbeaten in 3 runs this preparation. He's got 2 others in the noms too.
They ran second in the green there. That's what I want to be.
Brilliant.
And Bruce.
Start time for race 6 at Doomben, but let's whiz through some of these. Denman, this is the colt with the big spruik from Melbourne. $4 he's just eased out to here by Lonro. He's a half to preserve.
41 out to 51 on the bottom one, Trusting. $7.50 out to 8, back into $7.50.
Behind them, Magic Model. Trusting's got a lot of horses in front of him at the moment, and the Mikado's starting to run up along the rail. Around the home turn, and More Than Cash is just the leader from Denman. More Than Great behind them from Bombay Sling and Will to Win. Denman charged up on the outside to go to the front. He let him go, McAvoy, and he raced away. More Than Great's coming out behind him, 2 lengths away. And then Bombay Slinger. More Than Great is coming to eat into this lead. It's Denman just in front. More Than Great on the outside. Denman is digging deep. McAvoy goes to the whip, he lifts, and Denman is too good. Raced away and won it by a length and a quarter. More Than Great. Bombay Sling got third. The Mikado a good run fourth. And then Fear No Other, followed by Striker Huster Leafton. Then come in behind them next, Trusting, followed by Fear No Other. the strength of the win was the last 50 metres when More Than Great had him cold, 2.5 kilo pull in the weights, and he went away and beat him a length and a quarter. You want to be good to beat him there on Golden Rose Day.
Very impressed by several runners in this race.
Oh, look, this is a real race. There's some outstanding colts here. You only had to look at them in the yard, and it's a different level to what we've been used to for the last 5 months. This is a top class colt. Look at him. He's got a real Lonhro look about him. He makes his own luck. Shouldn't have figured in the finish. And look at the pat neck colours back in the field here. This is a very good colt as well. Trusting.
He went like a drunken sailor yesterday. Now, he got into more trouble than the early settlers, and he still had the height to finish off. I agree with you, Ronnie. I think he's a very talented horse that just forget that run. The winner.
We see the return of Black Caviar. There's the totes on your screen. 110, 110, 121, 20 on course. Now he's the best in the
Gates are back and they're away. Black Caviar was probably the worst out. And Noesis jumped brilliantly. Now Black Caviar moved up within a length of the front runner. And in behind Bell by the school, about 5 lengths covering the field at the most. 550 metres to go. Noesis by about a head only now to Black Caviar, and Absolute Faith has moved up trying to make a line of 3. Miraculous Miss in behind them with Orbiting Bell. 3 lengths cover them only now, and it's Noesis joined by Black Caviar, and Nolan sitting pretty quietly on the hot favourite as she takes over the running. Miraculous Miss getting up on the inside into 3rd placing, but Black Caviar opened up 3 lengths around the turn from Noesis. Miraculous Miss running on fairly well, but Black Caviar is all class, and she coasts down to keep the perfect record by about 4 lengths on the line. Miraculous Miss just second ahead of Orbiting Bell, and just behind those.
We are in a Kansas to keep her unbeaten record intact. Not very often you hear a crowd clap here at Moonee Valley, especially in race 1, but they cheered her home, clapped her home from about.
Probably what.
Not very often you hear a crowd clap here at Moonee Valley, especially in race 1, but they cheered her home, clapped her home from about.
Probably what she did yesterday is fairly inconclusive, but the form around her first 2 wins is fantastic, and I think she's the best filly in the country, I'd say.
All right, well, she might get further. What do you think, Ronnie?
Look, I think she's an absolute star. An absolute star. I love her attitude. I love the way she just...
Miler?
Oh, she's a sprinter. Look, as far as her being in...
The Future Stars sprint, all action here revolved around Secret Flyer and the Grey Morgan Dollar.
General fourth, the inside one. Timmer Morgan Dollar easing out, and then Dr. Nip and Tuck. Secret Flyer looking for runs between horses. Shrewd Rhythm second last, and then Road to Dundee. Mrs. Waters skips 2 in front of Devil May Care. Braided General. Uncle Ivan starting to work home. And Morgan Dollar down the outside, followed by Secret Flyer. Mrs. Waters with 100 to go, 2.5 in front. Secret Flyer, Morgan Dollar coming home hard. Secret Flyer out wide, flies. I reckon he got her. I think Secret Flyer might have nabbed Mrs. Waters in the last top, and Morgan Dollar 3rd.
Absolutely brilliant performance here. Late sectionals outstanding. He's come back in great form. He's 9 times winner from.
All I can say is, wow, what a performance that was. I'm not so...
Minutes away from start time, race 4. The 50 into 5 for Olonro, and Trusting is out to $10.
They got flat and beat them. 11 Trusting, 6 Core Command. They got to get past in 1 race own. 19 out to 21. Zavit 200 to 1. Olonro 555 back to 550. Trusting $10 into $9. Back to $9.50. Now back into $9.
2 or 3 to Olonro, and then Zavit, Mr. Baritone racing to win. Further back was Trusting, the Chieftain, Go-Kart and Vision and Power last of all. At the 600 metres, and Court Commanders highballing it in front here by a length and a half on in second spot. Voice Commander, Dreamscape third, and Olonro being pushed along by Ford in fourth, and then came further back Zavit. Mr. Baritone coming to the outside. Trusting's a long way back and racing to win about midfield, looking for a run between horses. Court Command led as they come up the rise in advance of Voice Commander, and then came Dreamscape, who's under the whip. Olonro racing to win's got nowhere to go. He's going well, but he's run into traffic. Mr. Baritone and Trusting are coming down the outside. Olonro, Mr. Baritone. Here's the 3-year-old Trusting right over the top of them, and Trusting gets up to win it. Won it from Olonro or Mr. Baritone, and then came racing to win, who was totally luckless, followed by Court Command, and then come with you now.
I certainly have got Jason Coyle and Rick Connolly in the team. He's a super 3-year-old, Jace.
Look, he's a superstar in the making. I can't wait till the autumn.
No luck last week in the run to the road.
Well, he's a look. How do you describe this horse? You know, he could be a superstar. It's just hard to put a limit on him at the moment.
It was a big jump.
He does, Rich. You know, it's
7.30 and 2.50 in the end. $1.70 for Olonro and Mr. Baritone, $4.
Which was ultra. Kev, listen to your head as you watch this race. The last 3-year-old to win this race was Lonhro.
On the spring and Trusting, I have to say, there is some Colt there. He was very inexperienced again, did things wrong again. Doesn't say that the older horses aren't that great at that level at the moment, but I tell you what, any horse who can do what he did at his age and his experience, very good.
Okay.
I think
With $1 million, it's the Golden Rose. It's Group 1, the first one of the season. How's it shaping up, Carolyn?
Well, he's well out in front of the others as far as the betting is concerned. $2.50 and favourite for Denman for the $1 million race.
$2.50. Number 3, Trusting, the Warwick Stakes winner, $7 into $6.
Course for.
And then came Viking Legend. Racing with it is Porsche, who's covering ground 3 wide, followed by Striker. Denman striding forward on the back of Porsche, and then Magic Model. Further back was Huster Leafton and the Mikado. 2 lengths to Feel and Ready, and further back was King Sabile. Trusting gives the leaders about 12 lengths as he comes to the outside, and then Sweepstaking and Headway into the straight and the Golden Rose, and the leader is Bombay Sling. Shell Scrapes out after it. Denman is charging down the centre out after these leaders. It's Denman rushing up to hit the front. He went straight past Shell Scrape, then Bombay Sling. Trusting is coming right down the outside. Denman in front with 100 to go. Trusting is coming after him. Denman's 2 in front, and he'll make it 5 on the trot. Denman wins the Golden Rose. Trusting got second, Striker third. Then came Huster Leafton from Shell Scrape. Then the Mikado, Bombay Sling, Headway from Viking.
Today he settled a little bit further back, but he was really strong.
I was very confident. I was frightening confident. I've been awake since 2 o'clock the last week, wait for the alarm to go off.
He's always shown he had improvement to come.
He's a very talented horse. Honestly, he's still got more to come. He's a really talented horse.
Makes big go on track. He was all the punters wanted to see. And Mark, and it hasn't been that long since we saw Lonhro, but hasn't he done a super job at stud? And this bloke, he's not unsimilar to him.
Well, he's got that acceleration like Lonhro. Lonhro could sit back and just go crash like that horse did yesterday. These first 2, Lonhro could sit back and just go crash like that horse did yesterday. These first 2 are genuine Group 1 horses for next year, aren't they? They've just got class written all over them.
But you saw, given that Trusting won the Weight Rose race the week before, that the Golden Rose form has stood up in recent years. And Seoc,
You've ridden plenty of good horses. Can you measure him with any of the better 3-year-olds or better horses that you've ridden?
Yeah, definitely, Bruce. He's always had Shamadale as probably the best miler that I rode. This horse is definitely right up there, and he's one of the sharpest, one of the quickest horses I've ridden at Denman for sure.
Please, if you didn't enjoy the day, when you get Group 1 racing like that, Graham, this race, the Golden Rose, is still in early days. It's only been, I think, finally, Sydney may have a race, a 3-year-old race to rival the Caulfield Guineas, and this has produced some really good horses in the past, and it'll continue to do so in the future.
And you're look, Denman is a very, very good horse, no doubt about that. Plenty of Group 1 wins left in him. Plenty of Group 1 wins left in the second horse too, Trusting. He's done a mighty job. He's had.
Still can't believe that. And one with a head. He's being eased down for by 5. Second wing 6. Third wing 4. She hasn't jumped cleanly any of them yet. And as you've
Our runners moving up here. Let's go to Greg Miles for the Danehill.
All eyes will be on stall number 2 here. That's where Black Caviar is drawn. She's racing now. Oh, Black Caviar really knuckled. She began terribly down in gate number 2 today. Let's see if she recovers quickly enough. Rarefied was away well with Corsair. Also jumping just in behind them is Wanted as they come towards the 600 metre mark. And they were being followed, Told Esprit buried away on the rail. Rarefied between horses, and further back is Extra Zero and Delago Bolt at the tail of the field. Black Caviar joins the course proper narrowly in front of Corsair. They're being followed Grand Harmony, who's ridden along. Wanted just behind the leader. Point Pain on the rail. Rarefied working into the clear. Extra Zero was next. Black Caviar at the 200, led by a length and a half. Wanted and Corsair, and then Rarefied out wider. And further back is Told Esprit starting to hit the line. Black Caviar in front. Wanted coming off her back. Black Caviar 3/4 in front. Black Caviar, she wins again. Black Caviar has won it from Wanted. Might be Rarefied third. Delago Bolt got home and Told us to.
Job done. Questions asked. Some answered. Some still to come. We'll show you the start shortly. Moody gets the best result in the race. The favourite home. His Acquisition runs second. Not dominant, but that might be explain what's happened at the start. But she's got the job done, and I'm sure what happens, gate opens, and she scrambles front and back. Now have a look again, Shane. And
well, that's the worst one yet so far.
That's what's happened to her.
Yeah, look, she's just going to have to correct.
Scrambled and just hope she hasn't hurt herself. That's always a concern. She looks like she went front and back, and
She went along the ground for about 20 yards. So hopefully we've still got a horse.
Go bolt
4 out of 4. I don't know. Sometimes we're hard to please. Ran 1.996, quicker than the open sprinters later in the day. Perhaps we expected her to win by a gap. Out in 36.3 and a dash home. That suited her.
6.5 out to 8. Half the field in here for the Mackay Diva. Here's Greg Miles.
Next to move up into the stalls is Red Ruler. So 4 to come along. 700 left to go, and Mac O'Reilly about a length in front of Typhoon Tracy. He's something. A length and a half away in the field, Heart of Dreams. Predatory Price to the inside. Vigor's been 3 deep all the way. In behind them, Pacino's Sailor Gear, and then Master O'Reilly peeling to the outside. Into the straight, and Mac O'Reilly the leader. Typhoon Tracy about 3/4 away. Pacino's got right up on the inside to join in. Vigor, despite a wide run, still there. Predatory Pricer is just off these, and Sailor Gear's putting in a big run. Typhoon Tracy at the 300 is headed by Vigor. Then Pacino. Sailor Gear was wider out from Predatory Pricer. Typhoon Tracy coming back. Vigor's had a hard run. He's ahead away now. Typhoon Tracy. Vigor comes again. This is a terrific battle between them. They hit it. It's a bobbing photo between Typhoon Tracy and Vigor. Running on strongly. Master O'Reilly might grab third from Sailor Gear. Photos all round there. Heart of Dreams and Pacino.
Flash up. Whatever happens, Vigor's been huge, considering, and we'll get it. Vigor will get this.
Well, that's
huge
a huge win. That is a mighty win.
And there's a huge crowd of people involved here, and Vigor doing it tough throughout and want to be in some sort of trouble, awkward throughout, near the inside. No clear run, no momentum in front, but had a chance as David Oliver comes back, Shane with Vigor.
Yeah, and
But it's kicking off on a big Cups campaign today.
yeah, well, let's not worry about
I'm Shane. Other winners today, Irish Lights.
About 14 lengths covering the field, and it's like a larrikin at the 800 in front. Speed Gifted with a mid-race move. It moved to second placing. Acosta a length miss, and Unsung Heroine. They swing for home, and like a larrikin leads. Speed Gifted rider sitting nice and quietly on him. They're followed by McNuckle on the rail. Acosta Vandalo starting to make ground. And the foreman was down the outside. Unsung Heroine back last. She's outpaced at the 250. And Speed Gifted strikes the front. Vandalo trying to go with him. McNuckle battling away. And further back is Red Lord, but it's Speed Gifted. He is just that. He's 2 lengths in front, holding them at bay. And Speed Gifted wins the last from Vandalo or Young Centaur. McNuckle on the rails for the Miners. Ahead of...
Yep, I'm not going to get tangled up in any traffic. I'm not going to...
Ahead of Red Lord.
Well, he's got the same weight as Vigor in the Cups, 51 kilos, alas.
I think he's going to be better coming off a 5th or 6th, but I think you've seen the real deal today.
Even got a real European set of colours, isn't he there? Speed Gifted, Dwayne Dunn. Here's the markets. Vigor, new favourite, Caulfield Cup, qualified in, $6. Speed Gifted, second favourite, not qualified, but...
promising horse, and he's acclimatised to Australian racing pretty well.
Geez, you keep pouring cold water on this horse. You can't do anything more than do what he's done in 2 starts to date. He's got a turn of speed. He showed he can put himself into a position there. He's first up at 1,700, and he's a deserved... Well, he's probably a deserved favourite for the Metrop if he comes, and he should be on the second line of betting for the Caulfield Cup. And you're pouring cold water on him every time you talk about it.
I just don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Get carried away, I think. Yeah, but no.
For John O'Shea, he was really good first up, of course. Unlucky there.
Parramatta, Theo Mark Stakes, one of the great institutions here at Parramatta. Down the board, racing to win 550 out to 650.
Baritone starting to slide up 3 wide, racing to win on the back of that trio. And then Briambo's Gift and 5 lengths to Newport. On the home turn, Dreamscape from Friday Creek. Triple Honours had a lovely run behind them. It comes to the outside to start the run on, and then came Equable. Rock Kingdom was further back, followed by Mr. Baritone. Triple Honour raced up to Friday Creek. Rock Kingdom's a length and a half away, but starting to close in. And now he's out on Racing to Win. Bowman's Weave, some magic here. Racing to Win comes up and takes the lead with 100 to go. Oh, that's a magnificent ride. Racing to Win beat Rock Kingdom and Triple Honour. Then Mr. Baritone, Briambo's Gift, followed by Equable. Then Dreamscape.
Win, but John O'Shea and Huey Bowman, he's back to his best. This horse, the blinkers on here today, and...
What about that, Johnny? The 60 and all, he's a superstar.
Gee, what about that, Rick?
Oh, he's a great horse, mate. He's a superstar. Everything was against him today.
Oh, yeah, but what a great ride. And, mate, it's it's just, I'm really amazed. He's a great, he's a great old horse to me.
He's certainly been a great...
This and its turn today.
He started a dominant favourite on the TAB at $3.80. They bet $7 on track.
especially for an old horse. Look, he's a 7-year-old now, and it's the first time he's had time in blinkers yesterday as well.
Yeah.
That's a dominant performance there. Rock Kingdom was very good first
He was
up.
brave, wasn't he?
He was awful in the
Very brave.
trials leading up to that run.
Ran
but
well.
He looked
A great reference towards the Cox Plate and races either side. But this is the perfect lead up for the Cox Plate. And what a lineup's $5.50. The only two in the market on the second page here. Who Begot You? 210 at the 225 and Micmac 320 at the 360. And
Glory, Who Begot You? Moved up into his place, sporting the blinkers for the first time today. Noel Kello brings Magical Pearl in. Micmac now moved into the field. The rear, Jolie Shinju leads. Magical Pearl coming up the side. Tears I Cry a length away. Micmac 3/4 away, fourth. He's poised. Who Begot You about to be set alight now by Ollie. Then Majestical and El Segundo was a little flat-footed for the time being. Jolie Shinju led by a length and a half coming around the home turn from Magical Pearl. Micmac and Who Begot You. They're coming after the Pride of Singapore when they corner. Who Begot You just has his head in front of Micmac. They claim Jolie Shinju and then Magical Pearl. The two favourites fight it out. Who Begot You and Micmac. Who Begot You on the outside has a slender lead from Micmac. Who Begot You's too good. He drew clear. Who Begot You beat Micmac by a length. Photo for third between Jolly Shinju and Magical Pearl. They stayed on El Segundo, warmed up late. Then Majestical Precedence. Tears I Cry.
we'll wait and see. I don't know. I might give you another doing the work. He's just won a $500,000 race. I know Michael Rod will be sitting at home, probably texted you already saying I'm a your read on it. And of course, Stu John with bringing racing to win down.
Oh, look, Bruce, I was never not convinced. I just think you've got to see what you believe. I think Who Begot You yesterday got a nice kill for him. I still love the way that the horse second line, the betting El Segundo.
Thought Damien was able to just come out and improve when it suited. I think Greg Uriel walks away very, very contented also, knowing that he was simply beaten by a better horse, although aided in running second simply because of the slow pace. And it's Cox Plate.
They were two sensational weight for age rides, first and second there. Danny Nikolic waited, and Oliver had to make a move when he did because the Micmac was going to outsprint him. He's come home in 33 anyway, as it stands. It was the fastest last 600 of the day, and I thought all honours with the winner as far as the Cox Plate is concerned. He'll come on from that. The blinkers.
Pleased to go round here. We have race 4 coming up in around 11 minutes. This is the T Rose Stakes, the third leg of the Princess Series here in.
Horse was even money throughout betting, like in the few days leading up, but been ousted here. Melito 250 to 235, big go. More Joyous $2.20 to 270 now. So anyway, 18.
Be interesting when these fillies get down to Melbourne, taking on the likes of well from the inside. Soda to 600, the leader More Valor, 3/4 on More Joyous. Magic Model, the outsiders third. Mirasalo next from Hurdle, Myrtle and Melito. McAvoy now takes off 4 wide as they come into the straight. This will develop into a sprint home. And the leader More Valor from More Joyous. Melito coming down the centre is going faster. Race up on the outside to grab More Joyous. So the first and second favourites settle down to fight it out. More Joyous on the inside. And a better kick at the 200. Melito's trying to wear it down, but More Joyous responding on the inside. She's the leader from Melito, and More Joyous is proving much too good. He sits up on the line. She wins it by 2 on Melito. Deer Valley got third, and then Hurdle Myrtle, followed by So Anyway. And then came Philly here in More Joyous as we see her getting to the front ahead of Melito. More than ready to sire.
On Simon, it was certainly Richie, very much a tempo, but just looking in the parade, even from one run to the next, she just looked a little bit lighter again. Whether she can go to the Flight Stakes and go to a trip to Melbourne, you just got to wonder whether Gay can keep her up for all those runs. I think she.
There you go. It was a walk, trot and gallop race, this wasn't it? They sort of went very slow till about the 4 and get up there and get into the fight, but just didn't have the turn of pace.
Good filly. 1100 to 1500. Keep that in the back of your mind. She'll be.
Yeah, but was it a 1500?
Doesn't matter.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter.
It was a very soft 1500.
She hadn't had the base that the second filly had, the 1200 and the 1400. She'd taken on the older fillies in a slowly run race first up. She was always in control of that race, and she's the one to beat in the Flight Stakes. Without
you're probably
she's
right.
delicate. I think she's delicate, and I don't think she's got many runs in her, but I think she'll be well. Alf?
Absolutely sensational. She is a star.
Yeah.
I actually made, and obviously it's not going to go there because, Ron, everyone thinks she's still underdeveloped because I reckon this will get 2,400 metres.
Oh, yeah, look.
Oh, geez, I'll set you some odds on that.
Well,
Yeah, I tell you what, no, do that because I'll take it.
All right.
no.
He's obviously not mature enough
I
yet,
agree, yeah.
but I tell you what,
As a
it is
4-year-old, maybe.
outstanding.
As a
Yeah,
4-year-old,
maybe
yeah.
it could be a Caulfield Cup horse.
Okay, Alfie, good comment.
Some geldings in the yards here for one of the feature races of the day, the Gloaming Stakes. This race, the richest race on the program. Short price favourite, So You Think. He broke Grand Army's track record.
To $6. He's likely to roll forward and make the speed if you can. Now Roval starting to up the ante in front, and further back was Beaveroo. So You Think is next, and Bowman pulls him to the outside. He's about to make his run 4 and 5 wide on the turn, and then Southern Sky further back behind them. Shadow Buster, Elucidation and Bark. Gathering's leader. He's had his own way in front. He led by a length and a half. Romanus. So You Think is starting to come down the outside out after the leader. He's sprinting fast. Bowman gave him a hit with the whip. He ducked in. Gathering still the leader. Now So You Think gets on level terms on the outside. He swaps whips now, Bowman, as So You Think wanted to hang in, but he takes the lead in the Gloaming, and this promising galloper charges away, wins at 3/4 on Gathering. Back in third spot, Heracleon, and then came Beaveroo from Southern Sky.
So You Think by High Chaparral takes out the Gloaming Stakes for 2009. He does.
You think that was only his third career start, Caroline. He had to make a lot.
Almost a dead heat. So I'm just saying he's won more or less won every race in training for by one.
The best thing was, but you had to make a lot still about him.
Well, he's got a great heart. He's got a will to win, and that's what makes good horses a little bit better. That's what makes champions.
We're heading down to Melbourne for the Caulfield Guineas.
It's a strong possibility. I think we will.
Well done, mate. The second horse is pretty smart, Gathering. The $100 each way at 200s, but the winner, Mark, very smart horse. I just wonder whether the Caulfield Guineas will be over before he really hits top gear.
Yeah, personally, I would have thought that Spring Champion would have been a better option. He was probably suited at Randwick because they went breakneck speed, and that's why he got so close to More Than Great, who Denman had absolutely played with the start before. I'm just thinking there wasn't a lot of depth in that race. Gathering had a pretty soft time in front, and I doubt if I'd want to take the others home. They're midweekers. Look, he won well yesterday, but they might be a bit fast for him in their Guineas. That's my opinion.
Do you think? Could he go to a Cox Plate? You know?
Oh, look, I don't know whether he'll go to a Caulfield Guineas or not, but I'm suggesting he may. I think he's a very good colt. I think he's a really good colt. A few people were a few people were a touch disappointed with him.
Why?
Because it looked a common race on paper.
He's pricked his ears on the line. He's half pulling up on the line.
I reckon he knocked up. He was second up 1800 here, and he's not far from wound up. He's a real from wound up. He's a real threat to the good colts in Melbourne if he goes, and if he pulls through that race. Bart's not shy in running a 3-year-old in a Cox Plate. He ran up with Taj Rossi, and he had a few others running the race, Murfield Village and Bozam. So
Yep.
Bart's not shy to run a nice 3-year-old in a Cox
The
Plate.
second horse battled on well. If he doesn't strike the absolute
You know
top
what the
ones,
second horse will do? He can win the Champions
Yeah, I
Stakes
reckon he can.
if the winner doesn't go there.
That's what I mean. If he does, if he avoids these really good ones like Trusting and Demerit and that horse there, I think he wins the next level.
What do you get? Real Stayer.
Boys, here's the market for the for the Guineas Prelude for the males. The slipper winner feeling ready at $18. Manhattan Rain $4.40 out 50 out to 6.5. Bolts at 13. Tickets at 14. Trusting $3.50 out to $3.80. Down to Tolesprit 7.5 as we get down to Demerit at $10 on pass. No movement for Demerit, $10 in the ring, and that hasn't.
And back last of all is Trusting. At the 800 metres, Carlton Ford had the lead. Manhattan Rain a length and a half away. Star Spangled Banner fighting the rider in on the rails in third placing. And then came Demerit, still appears to be caught a little bit wide. Nicastro next being scrubbed along to try and find his stride. Oh, Tickets met some trouble back in the field. Briefed about midfield on the rail from a clear fast pass. Back behind those horses is Tolesprit. Trusting trying to work into the clear, followed by Tickets to Lago Bolt. Carlton Ford led around the home turn. Manhattan Rain's had a good trail right behind him. Then Demerit pulled out. Star Spangled Banner looking for the way clear. A clear fast pass coming now. Carlton Ford is tackled by Demerit and Manhattan Rain. They go to the lead together. Then a clear fast pass, and next was Trusting. It's Demerit and Manhattan Rain fighting it out. And the Trusting flashes home. Demerit or Trusting lunges at him. Demerit or Trusting. Either Manhattan Rain or Star Spangled Banner for the third placing. And just off these to finish in the race, Nicastro, a clear fast pass. Tickets is distant last in the race.
12 will win it here. Demerit for Darley. They've got the favourite for the Caulfield Guineas, of course, with Denman. And now they produce off a Cranbourne maiden win. Demerit stalling off the fast finishing, trusting, outstanding performance. He's got the Guineas written all over him. He never really looked to be motoring until the last little bit. Manhattan Rain responded to very hard riding from Shin.
But look, this trusting, my word, he's some galloper. And once he gets to a mile, you'd think he's going to be very hard to hold out. I couldn't see any of them
through the system.
Exactly. You know, he's still running. He doesn't know what he's doing. That's the biggest, plus that can come out of the race.
Cranbourne maiden win to a Guineas Prelude, and now one of the chances for the Guineas. If it runs, Demerit backs up.
Second quicker than the Group 1 Sir Rupert Clark. And this is, we've said it many times in recent weeks, we've got a terrific crop of 3-year-olds trusting on outside of picture there. Obviously superb Demerit, very tough performance for an inexperienced horse to do what he did. And I think Star Spangled Banner was a certainty beaten.
Yes, he was unlucky. The Caulfield Guineas 420 trusting 450 Demon. So you think, oh, Rich, that'd be wrong then, wouldn't it? If you think it's only trusting and Demon, you got so you think at $4.50.
Yeah, I think he's unders, Bruce. So you think
To the line. Trusting, absolutely awesome. Ridden deliberately to go back, probably cost itself a little bit. And, I really thought just time we probably saw one horse that's going to be right there, and that is Trusting.
He's pretty good colt, the winner. He's only second up there. He's got a sense of timing about him. He's outstanding, Trusting, but he's starting to look like the second coming of Telesto to my eye.
That is outrageous. That is, look, as much as I love Telesto.
Tactical speed, whatever. I'm saying he's outstanding.
So his first prep.
What?
He's in his first prep. Right?
It's going to be a long one by the sound of it.
What I'll say about Trusting is, I don't think he ever got on his Melbourne leg yesterday. I think he raced on his Sydney leg, and
he raced terrific. I thought he would.
And that might have been why he was unable to accelerate around the bend. He seemed to be losing ground around the bend, and when he got flattened out and straightened up in the straight, then he produced his best. I think he's outstanding. I think if he draws a good gate and gets the right run, I think he'll win the Caulfield Guineas.
There's a horse in it called Denman. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
horse?
I think
that's been kicking his backside.
I respect Denman. I think he's a great young horse, but I think Trusting's a better horse.
And for the Group 1, Rock Ebony Underwood Stakes, of course, all the drama. The favourite, of course, is Who Begot You. Stable had no luck in the previous with Hello. And they've got the fave here in Who Begot You. He's 240 at the 250 at $2 on course. Efficient 31, Review 26, Maldivian 15. We'll get back to them shortly. Type 5-2 chance for the Tats Cox plate on course today. 250. There's been plenty of action on this race since.
Caught wide, Doro Valley in the middle, and Maldivians caught very wide. A length further back in the field, then came Kibbutz, and then Who Begot You. 2 lengths to Efficient, Fiumicino, and viewed at the end of the field by the 1,000 metres. Run at a good tempo here. Typhoon Tracy now a length and a half in front. She crossed over in front of Predatory Pricer. 3 lengths further back as Sailor Gare. Red Ruler on the rails in 4th placing. 2 lengths to Vigor Maldivian on a wide run at the 800 still. Followed by Master O'Reilly, Heart of Dreams, and then came Zarita, scrubbed up 3 wide. A length Doro Valley, Kibbutz, and then Scenic Shot. Who Begot You was the next one, peeling out wide, and they're trailed by Fiumicino, Viewed and Deficient now back last. At the 500 metres, Typhoon Tracy comes towards the turn, 3/4 clear from Predatory Price, the Sailor Gare, and Maldivian still running on around the outside, followed by Vigor, Red Ruler, Heart of Dreams, and next Who Begot You, and then Zarita. Typhoon Tracy led narrowly from Predatory Pricer. Maldivian under pressure, 3rd from Red Ruler, Heart of Dreams, and then came Who Begot You. At the 200 metres, still Typhoon Tracy narrowly, Maldivian, Predatory Pricer. Vigor's trying to get through, running out of room, and Heart of Dreams and Who Begot You are flashing home on the outside now. Across the track, Heart of Dreams hitting the line strongly. Heart of Dreams has won it from either Who Begot You or Predatory Pricer. Red Ruler boxed on, then Maldivian, Typhoon Tracy, Master O'Reilly. Vigor ran out of room, and further back in the field to finish, Viewed and Deficient together.
Vigor Pricer on speed, so it's 13, 12, 14. And Maldivian, what a run him. He's worked throughout and he's held on for 4th. Amazing. In a week it was a fork in the road day for this horse.
Well, it is. It probably means you have to go to the Yolumba now and onto the Cox plate that way. So
Maldivian. Who Begot You clearly headed him, but he just doesn't know what ends horse.
So that's probably a positive.
Good runs. Maldivian was fabulous. Dear me. back early midfield, which we don't usually see him. Then he goes on a.
What you get, they've all run up to expectations there.
Oh, most definitely. I thought the 2 runs of the race were, look, the winner went super, but I thought the 2 runs of the race were like Bossy, Predatory Pricer and Maldivian's run I thought was outstanding. I still, Mark, I still think if the Cox Plate was run anywhere bar Moonee Valley, I wouldn't have Who Got You in the top 5 or 6. Only because he's got a great record at the Valley. I still think he's a query at the 2,000 metres.
Yeah, you might putting that market move changes for the Cox Plate. Okay, Richie can do his own market here. Who Got You's at the 380. Also going to go to 850 movers. Maldivian 13 to 10. Heart of Dreams 26 into 10. Predatory Price of 15 to.
I'd say El Segundo's the one to beat.
Maldivian, geez, what a run was it? Absolutely fantastic. Stepping up from the 1200 at Flemington to the 1800 yesterday, I thought his run was simply awesome. And we know he's going to run the trip right out. And he is right on track for another tilt at a Cox Plate. There's no problems about that. Red Ruler good.
If you swap the runs of the first 2 horses with the 3rd and 4th horses, I reckon you'd swap the result because they both, Who Got You, okay, he had to come wide. That's his pattern. But Art of Dreams had the best run in the race. It was a beautiful ride. Nick Price had him right. It was a great effort. I love the run of Predatory Price. It did it tough. Maldivian did it tough. They were the 2 best runs in the race for mine. And I couldn't disagree with anything else that he said.
Yeah, it's amazing how form stands up. You go back to the Far Lap Stakes at Rosehill back in August. Heart of Dreams beat Who Got You and Predatory Pricer. They did the same thing in the Liston. They're all around the mark there. And these horses, there's not a split inch between them. It comes down to run-of-the-race stuff. As far as the Cox Plate's concerned, the run-of-the-race stuff. As far as the Cox Plate's concerned, I think it's advantage Predatory Pricer and
I tell you what, Maldivian
and Maldivian.
Horses that run well in Cox Plates previously run well again. It's a bit of a specialist race, and I reckon he's right on.
I think they made He's equal favourite with 6 Nakoni, $5 about 7 Micmac, and the shortest of the remainder is number 9 Swift Alliance. There's an $8.50 chance in repeating. The Anthony Cummings pair, Dewporth we knew was out. Solo Flyer came out with
go. So, we believe that we can drop him back here tonight. He runs here tonight. Hopefully, we go on to the sweeps and possibly.
And the big Group 1 of the evening about to go. What a race it promises to be. They're set, racing, and a beautiful start too. Swift Alliance and Lucky Secret away very quickly, and they're pairing down in front of the 3-year-old. White back second last, and Nakoni was a length and a half away last. At the 700 metres now, and Secret Flyer moved up, and he's gone about a length in front, staying well off the rail ahead of Swift Alliance, Wanted, and Micmac right behind these. Russetting a length away on the fence, followed by Feel and Ready. A length to Danley, another length in the field, then to Turfontaine, Secret Flyer, Apache Cat, and Nakoni last, but he's starting his run. Coming around the turn, Lucky Secret leading narrowly from Wanted, Swift Alliance, Micmac, russeting the rail and further back Feel and Ready. Nakoni starting to wind up, he's 5 off them. It's Wanted going to Lucky Secret around the turn. He takes over the running. Then Micmac, Swift Alliance and Nakoni coming. It's Lucky Secret fighting back. Wanted a half head in front of Lucky Secret. Here's Danley. Danley's getting out of the pack. He swaps them. Danley wins a Manikato. Feel and Ready flashed home. He might. Coming around the turn, Lucky Secret leading narrowly from Wanted, Swift Alliance, Micmac, russeting the rail and further back Feel and Ready. Nakoni starting to wind up. He's 5 off them. It's Wanted going to Lucky Secret around the turn. He takes over the running. Then Micmac, Swift Alliance and Nakoni coming. It's Lucky Secret fighting back. Wanted a half head in front of Lucky Secret. Here's Danley. Danley's getting out of the pack. He swaps them. Danley wins a Manikato. Feel and Ready flashed home. He might get second. Wanted is up there with Nakoni and Apache Cat finished it off. Late. Further back in the field then was Micmac, and then came Turfontaine. Lucky Secret stopped in the straight, followed then by Secret Flight.
Wow, what a race. And
he was bolting that horse there. All we needed was that split, and it finally came 200 metres out, and he's got a sizzling finish. And just when the Golden Slipper winner, look, the winner, Feel and Ready, this got the split and went bang. And that's a tour to Terry, despite being not being in the major prize there. I think they've both run really well. His 2 champs.
To my eye, Apache Cat still had that room for improvement. I'm not sure.
7 Chris, when straight after the Stradbroke, this was the race you targeted for him. I know Bruce asked you on Friday night,
there was a lot of different races to go for, but you were adamant he's a weight for age horse. Hunt, isn't it? You see a horse Stanley win at $17 and you go back and analyse and think, geez, on tough bit of concrete. Gave Nakoni 4 kilos and second to it in the Galaxy. Yeah. Nakoni's the $4.40 favourite. And it's $17.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so won't there?
Look, I'll put my hand up. I'm employed by SEN, but I am a consumer. I'm a rodeo consumer. I'm a race lover, and I'll be having a look at what's
the TAB and also the on track. It's Jolly Shinju, $3.50 out to $4. And this really good galloper, Alco Pop. He's a jeune. Don't know how he's going to handle the wet. 11 to 14. Miss Darcy at $10.
For a bit of value, Mac O'Reilly to beat number 3, Jolly Shinju, and number 6. Young Centaur.
Then came Miss Darcy, one away shocking. Elko Pop and Kibbutz together. 2 Young Centaur. Britta Martin, then came the Foreman, and Ruby John is last. It's Jolly Shinju. At the 600 metres, she's leading only narrowly. Field Hunters claiming her on the outside. McNuckle got up on the inside, and Jolly Shinju punctured quickly. It's Field Hunter from McNuckle down on the inside, and then Marshall Bell, Mac O'Reilly. Miss Darcy was next as they swing around the turn. Elko Pop is putting in a run. Elko Pop's coming home, but Field Hunter leads from McNuckle. Elko Pop, and then came Kibbutz. Field Hunter the leader. Elko Pop switches to the insiders, coming home well. It's Field Hunter tackled by Elko Pop. Elko Pop's taken over the running here, and it's Elko Pop. Elko Pop drew away and won by 2 lengths to Field Hunter. Shocking got home for 3rd. Then a break to McNuckle might get the 4 from Britomart, Young Centaur, Kibbutz, Ruby John. A break behind those last home.
He's a very good horse. A very, very good horse, Alco Pop. $15.10 and $3.90. I think if it was dry ground, he would have been half that price. Field Hunter, $3.80. Shocking. Got it in early doors, Turpin. I've got to be honest. I've backed him in every race he's been in. But he is a super little horse.
He is.
And
he's had these issues, hasn't he, over the past couple of years. But a dominant win there by Elka Pop. Clearly his toughest test to date. Got through ground that you wouldn't have thought would. On Friday night, he ran on very well here. But this horse has really emerged. Journey on wet ground too. It was a terrific performance.
It was a good win. Jolly Shinju
Just got a pedigree to run a lot further by Jeune out of a Blevig mare, and they're riding him much more patiently from the start of this preparation until now. And
look, I want to have another look at this winner. I know I make fun of Adelaide form sometimes, but this could be a serious racehorse. He come from last, winning at 1200 first up, then went straight to the Balaclava Cup and won and looked very impressive, and then does that 3rd up. He's unbeaten. He's untapped.
You know, a horse like that could find its way into a Melbourne Cup field with a win in a qualifying race, right? But it's probably, for mine, not. Everyone wants to run a Melbourne Cup. That's fair enough, but I wouldn't. I'd be looking at races like Geelong Cup, Saab Quality, maybe Queen Elizabeth. You know, take that low range.
This horse is sneaking up.
Yeah.
This is a real talent, this horse. He's a real talent. Believe me.
Arrowfield Stud Flight Stakes and More Joyous, well, still in the red, $1.90, Rich.
Yeah, very much so. Number 1, Melito, that won't hold.
For More Joyous, Melito at $9.10. She's got back to $7 after touching $6.50. And as we look further, so too Amarantha and Gold Tears last in the Flight Stakes. 700 to run. Pace has only been average. Hurdle Myrtle getting away with a soft lead, led from Sister Madly. More Joyous, the favourite, is poised behind them from Melito. Break Carter. Then came Deer Valley. Run for Nara starting to circle the field, coming into it. Further back was Little Surfer Girl, Miss Shamadal, Amarantha and Gold Tea. The leader is Hurdle Myrtle by a couple on Sister Madly. More Joyous is just in behind them. He's still holding it together. He hasn't gone for it yet. Melito next, and Run for Nara's trying to wind up. Sister Madly rushed up on the outside and has collared Hurdle Myrtle. Now Rawilla asking on the favourite, More Joyous, to come along the inside out after them, and then Melito. More Joyous given a smack with a whip, took the lead in the Flight Stakes, and she waved them goodbye. More Joyous beat Sister Madly and Hurdle Myrtle. Then came Melito from Deer Valley. Further back was Break Carter. At the head of the others, Little Surfer Girl from Run for Nara, Amaranth, Miss Shamadal.
She's a superstar number 2, More Joyous by More Than Ready. She takes out the Group 1 Flight Stakes, the Arrowfield Stud.
Very, very good filly.
That's the understatement of the century. She's outstanding. She wasn't suited one iota by the conditions today, and she was.
You've been adamant all the way, Gay, that you were going to come to the flight and then go to the break, not Melbourne, not going to be enticed by the spring.
We were tempted, but I just think that you'll find that she'll be a lot stronger in the autumn and the spring. Whatever she's doing now, you just back her and start backing her now, and you back her all the way through the autumn and all the way through the spring.
You told us
after, I think, the Mum Sunday Joy, certainly looked after Tuesday Joy. We lost Joie Denise recently, of course.
A measure. She's an outstanding filly. Look at her. There's nothing of her, and it's the right decision to probably look after her because when she matures,
she's the perfect type for a wet track. No, little feet.
The start. Number 15 crossed the start for the Lambings, not going round in the Metropolitan. It is another Group 1 on the program, of course.
350 Street Fighter 20 to 26. 6 o'clock news 26 to 31 26. Speed Gifter got out to $7, back into 6 now. Hume $13 to $14. Tinseltown 31. Bellagio win 15 to 21 due to the wet track. One Cape Breton, good odds. Aaron Beeman's on board, $31 into $11 for the Group 1 Metropolitan. Caroline the Rain.
The heavily backed Firmicino in fourth on the inside. Beeman's got him in a nice spot. Speed Gifted next as fifth. Then Lodge the Deed, followed by Human Street Fighter. A couple to Gyno, Newport, Tinseltown, and then came the Embassy ready to lift, followed further back by 6 o'clock news. At the head of the others, we've got Cape Breton, and Nothing Like a Cat is last of all. Craig Agnew's got all cylinders going here on Mr. Clangtastic. He's 5 or 6 lengths in front of the Metrop. He leads from Bellagio in. Here comes Speed Gifted. He's starting to go after the leader quickly. Lodge the D just trying to track him up, and then Zek Eagle as they run to the 300, and Speed Gifted hit the front. Lodge the Deeds is coming out behind him and giving chase, but Speed Gifted's going well. He's raced away from Lodge the Deeds. He's 2 lengths in front. Then came Mr. Clangtastic, 100 metres to go, and the imported galloper, Speed Gifted, has got the Metropolitan at his mercy. He's well clear and wins it by 2.5 on Lodge the Deeds. Firmicino got third, Bellagio in fourth. Then came Mr. Clangtastic, Nothing Like a Cat, and Newport. Further back was 6 o'clock news. Then ends at
for the Cup. So Speed Gifted has done the job at $6.70. I think Duncan Grimley behind the purchase of this. He's had a good day with more joy.
Out right on the winning post, but he's a pretty exciting horse, I think.
Particularly only like...
And I'd like to be in Dwayne Dunn's suit at the moment.
I was going to say, do you want to send him a message to Lee? He's down there at Flemington waiting to talk to you.
See how I got him to axe, mate.
Well done, mate.
Cheers.
There it gives him virtually a guaranteed spot in the field.
I would have thought so, Bruce. That was emphatic. I think you believe what you see. It was the best race run anywhere in Australia yesterday because it was the only race just about anywhere that was a genuine test and run at a legitimate tempo. And given this horse's background, he would have absolutely relished that. But his turn of foot was fantastic. And Lee, privately, I said, what did you really make of that? He just looked at me with that little grin he gets and said, excitingly good. I think he'll go.
Thick ride. He jumps, which is unusual for a European horse. He can take a position, he settles, and he can sprint.
That's his probably big bonus, Ronnie. He sprints, especially under yesterday's conditions. Sort of heavy track. His turn of foot was unreal from the top of the straight onwards. He was really never going to get beat. Great.
Yeah. Wow.
Seen him in the past do a few things wrong in terms of getting his head up. Was there any sign of it yesterday? Like if the pace had really backed off, would he have represented a problem at any stage?
Not with these, mate.
Hey, just thread the silk, eh?
Mate, you know what it's like.
Flory, how good is he?
Well, to be honest, I think he's the best horse that I've ridden going to like the Caulfield or Melbourne Cup.
Better than Bauer?
Wow.
Yeah.
Big rap.
Yeah, it isn't.
Okay, let's have a look at our feature of the day. The Group 1 Arrowfield Star Epsom Handicap. This great race over the famous...
Boys at Sporting, but it's the reason it's held its spot is because the money has been continued for the last 14 hours up in their business. So good money for 4 Red.
At last and God's Hand last of all. It's Rollins the leader. Drumbeats goes up into second and sits at the leader's quarters, and no luck for Rock Kingdom striding up into third but out wide. Rangi Rangdu gets a lovely run behind them. He's fourth on the inside, a half to Emperor Ball. They're at at the halfway mark. And the leader, Rollins, for Darren Beedman by a length on Rock Kingdom, who worked in a little bit closer. Emperor Bonaparte taking off early. Then Drumbeats. Rangy Rangdoo's come away from the inside. He's in the centre. Then Strats, Flyro, Lonro, midfield. He's trying to stoke him up to get mobile. Followed by Road to Rock. Triple Honour's going to hug the fence and try and save some ground. And then Yelling Up and Cullen Castle, Mr. Baritone and God's Hand. Rock Kingdom raced up to Rollins. Corey Brown rings Rangy Rangdoo to the outside. A couple of lengths to Strats, Flyer, and then Road to Rock. But it's Rock Kingdom the leader. Rangy Rangdoo comes after it. And then came Road to Rock down the outside. Rock Kingdom in front. Rangy Rangdoo ranges up and Road to Rock's putting in the big ones. But Rangy Rangdoo in the centre. Got to Rock Kingdom, who refuses to give in. Rock Kingdom's come back on the inside. And I think Rock Kingdom in a photo has beaten Rangy Rangdoo. Maybe Road to Rock third from Yallingup, and then Drumbeats. Followed further back behind them next by Mr. Baritone. Then we've got God's Hand from Triple Honour O'Lon.
Rock Kingdom backed in on course 151 to 80.
He picked up ground again.
Yeah, I agree. When I got right into him with the whip, I wouldn't say he lied down, but he half resented it. So I put it away and rode him hard hands and heels. And
just there, when you're riding him hands and heels there, he's picking up ground again.
Yeah.
I reckon he turned it up. I honestly think he turned it up. He had this horse cold, Rock Kingdom, in my opinion, and he did his little thing there of wanting to duck in, even with the bubble cheeker on.
Field for the Group 1 Turnbull Stakes here this afternoon, and there's your tote call. Maldivian, a popular tote, Vicky's 420 on course. We go all
sitting second or third on the fence, getting a beautiful car. $6, which there was bet earlier in the week. I think it's time to have something more on it.
Blow and Zagreb nearly 2 lengths further back as Efficient, and then Sailor Gear, Zipping, Viewed and El Segundo at the 800 metres, and Maldivian has the lead, a length in front. Red Lord is running second and Scenic Shot third. Predatory Price are right behind them as they neared the home turn from Borghurst, and then Roman Emperor. They're followed by Red Ruler trying to find a way clear, and Viggers further back behind him. He's worse in midfield on the rail, and they're trailed by Joe Blow, and then Efficient into the straight, and Maldivian by 2 lengths. Predatory Price are getting up on the inside from Red Lord. Scenic Shot, Borghurst, Red Ruler's coming home on the fence, and then Roman Emperor. Viggers a long way back, but Maldivian is going powerfully. Predatory Price are a length and a half away, is coming home strongly, and then Scenic Shot. Red Ruler starting to work home, and Efficient is down the outside. Maldivian tackled by Predatory Pricer. Efficient mowing them down. Predatory Pricer's hit the front. Efficient grabbed him. Efficient has got up to beat Predatory Pricer. Red Ruler might get third. Maldivian weakening late. Borkhurst Ruler starting to work home, and Efficient is down the outside. Maldivian tackled by Predatory Pricer. Efficient mowing them down. Predatory Pricer's hit the front. Efficient grabbed him. Efficient has got up to beat Predatory Pricer. Red Ruler might get third. Maldivian weakening late. Borkhurst and Scenic Shot are up there, followed by Viewed. Just behind these, then Roman Emperor and Sailor.
big time. Efficient charges home to score his first win since the Melbourne Cup of 2 seasons back, and Nick Hall will be thrilled to win it for his.
Yeah, I think none of them have let us down. Well, certainly not the whole team, and John Sadler's the leader of that team, so all credit to him. He trained this horse, and he's done a great job with him for the last 18 months to get him back on track.
Yeah, really the first win since the 2007 Melbourne Cup, and a first Group 1 for young Nicholas Hall, grandson of the owner, Lord Williams, or as the Herald Sun, hint of which way do we go with all these horses?
Yes, Bruce. Well, Efficient was outstanding, wasn't he? Home in 33.6. Of course, the grey left of screen. Given that the race was otherwise dominated by those who tracked reasonably handily, produced 3 absolutely memorable wins at Flemington, hasn't he? The Derby, the Cup, of course, and now this. Just get on Borghurst in the Cox Plate.
Cox Plate for Borghurst.
Cox Plate, yep. Last year, Maldivian ran 6th in the Turnbull, won the Cox Plate. Year before, El Segundo ran 6th in this race, won the Cox Plate. So Borghurst is your horse.
I love the 2 Melbourne Cup, ex-Melbourne Cup winners there. I look with the winner Efficient. He's right on target and Viewed. I think they're the 2. I really think they're the 2 along with Speed Gifted.
I think Maldivian, that for the Cups, yes.
Oh, yes.
But Maldivian, though, I think he's right on track for a Cox Plate. Yep, I do, don't you?
Look, I think he's going okay. Flemington's not his track. I agree with that. When he gets back to the Valley, it'll be a different horse.
Mark Kavanagh said...
Just to the Caulfield Cup into $8. Viewed firms up. Because these straight races, very hard to pick them up. Hortensia is a $5 second favourite behind Eagle Falls at $4.80. Easy First Command at $7.50. Lot Fantastic 7 out to 9. Okay, let's get into the yard here and try and get through as many of these before they go onto the track. Starting with All Silent, who Graham Beck's been talking up as a straight performer here. Down, drawn out. That's a plus.
Which one runs for us in any race he's in? He's got such a paralysing sprint, you can't underestimate him.
Look at this, Shane. Now the
Paralysing sprint, you can't underestimate him.
Look at this, Shane. Now to 460. So that's where the serious action is here. The last minute for her.
Yeah, $5 and
I think
460.
drawing out.
Nero is up the middle of the course and immediately ahead of Light Fantastic, followed by Eagle Falls. Hortensia just off the speed with some cover. Solo Flyer, Fist of Fury up the middle of the track, trailed in behind those by and Falaise out wide. Back behind those horses then is Shadow Ways. Dewport buried back on the outside rail, and back there too Swick and All Silent at the 300 metres. And here it's First Command tackled by Eagle Falls. Hortensia gets over heels and is starting to come home. And then Grand Sasso. It's Eagle Falls. Light Fantastic getting the run. First Command is still there with Hortensia. It's First Command fighting courageously, just holding on from the All Silent who flies. Oh boy! First Command All Silent absolutely rocketed home. He's made it very close, and Light Fantastic is between them. Dewport made late ground. And is starting to come home, and then Grand Sasso. It's Eagle Falls. Light Fantastic getting the run. First Command is still there with Hortensia. It's First Command fighting courageously, just holding on from the All Silent who flies. Oh boy! First Command All Silent absolutely rocketed home. He's made it very close, and Light Fantastic is between them. Dewport made like go over the line.
It's going to be a very big day here for Nick Hall. We're sweating on the photo result. First Command looked home. Nick drives through on the inside here, and we'll get it.
It'll get there.
Number one, All Silent will be your winner here. Outstanding performance. First Command looked home. Light Fantastic, very not unexpecting of this.
No, he's
have a look at this for a performance.
He's just a darn good horse. They'd run 1:09.86. He's chasing the best sprinters that we could have assembled for this field today, given them a big start, and he's charged home to get there. And wins. Wow, what a win. Bruce with Graham Beck.
It's going to be the.
Well, he remains unbeaten.
With Graham Beck.
It's going to be the.
Well, he remains unbeaten at Flemington 3 times for 3 wins here, Graham. At this time up the straight, and you've been pretty buoyed, weren't you?
Well, I was very happy with him going into the race. He had 2 really nice trials. He had a 1,000-metre trial on the course proper at Warwick Farm sort of 3 weeks ago. Him and Dunkley smoked up late in the trial, weren't put under any real pressure. Didn't have his blinkers on, so we knew he was on song, and he's coated turned that around. I guess you're only as good as the cattle you get on.
Well, he's on a good one here, and he's in for a beat of a decent cap to win on efficient. Now he wears black with a wide armbands to win here on All Silent. Brilliant win, Shane.
Yeah, it was. Now, Paul is on
opportunity to get on a good horse like this. He's explosive, isn't he?
Yeah. Geez, he's explosive and real competitive and fearless through him. I took some really tight runs on 2 or 3 occasions there, and he exploded them through ferociously.
You feel as though you'd got there out for 6 days, rides next Saturday. But what a win that was, Steve.
It was breathtaking, Bruce. At about the 300, I was watching All Silent closely, and then I switched to my attention to watch others because he couldn't win at that point. And a ride of great bravado from Nick Paul too, pushing inside. First Command, well, I think at least they've established that he belonged a couple of inches. But I think we have to keep in mind too that All Silent carried the maximum under the set weights and penalties, and he might be capable of winning just about anything on a good track. When he's in that sort of shape.
I'd love to see him in Hong Kong end of the year, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd love to.
It's believing, isn't it?
Oh my word!
Well, now you have a look at this.
This is the win of the day.
This is the win of the day, and probably.
Yeah, unbelievable win, unbelievable ride, and look, he's unbeaten in Melbourne now. This horse. And he just rattles off. I don't know what he rattled off the sectional in. They've come home in 33.9, and he's come from last. They looked to slowly run race down the straight. Look, I like Light Fantastic. I think Mick, he was gallant in defeat. He was gallant in defeat.
He faced the pretty strong headwind.
No,
he faced that all the way up there.
Didn't. He had all the favours in front.
Well,
please.
that's not right, Ronnie.
It is right. They walked. I don't argue with you.
When you face the brute, but also
Raleigh on course. This is for number 6, Hoover Got You for the Yalumba.
It's going to be a good race, isn't it? Hoover Got You, Heart of Dreams. Hoover Got
The big one at Moonee Valley. But it's a bit of a race, and there's plenty of support for Heart of Dreams as well. Racing now And Who Got You was the slowest one to move, and he eases back, and Heart of Dreams is just immediately ahead of him early. Zarita is fourth. Who Got You still on the fence at the 800 metres, sneaks up to fifth, and then came Master O'Reilly, Vision and Power, and Heart of Dreams at the end. About 7 lengths covered them. It's been run at a nice tempo, and it's Doro Valley in front. 600 left to go. They're starting to make their moves now. Borghurst second. Zarita got to third. Master O'Reilly moved to fourth. Then Nom de Jour waiting on a run. Who Got You outside him is inching his way into the race. He's travelling. He needs a run. Heart of Dreams follows him around the turn. Borghurst, and on the inside of him fighting back is Nom de Jour getting a run along the inside now. Nom de Jour's after Borghurst. Who Got You's in the clear. Heart of Dreams out wide. Borghurst tackled by Who Got You. Then Heart of Dreams and Master O'Reilly. Who Got You draws to the front. Heart of Dreams is coming home well, but Who Got You wins it from Heart of Dreams. Photo third, either Master O'Reilly, Vision and Power, or Borghurst. They're across the track and they're clear of Zarita, and then across the track.
Target, it's really, really exciting to have headline act. You can see that down at the race day stalls. You see people coming up dressed in,
Don't see where the threat other than Maldivian comes for the Cox Plate here.
No, look, I disagree, Bruce. I still want the $9 from Richard. I've got that. But look, I'm not sure about this. Borghurst, the handicapper, has a tougher run. I mean, that was the roll the dice ride from Ollie, but as it turned out, it was perfect. The horse spent no energy, covered no ground. The wet tracker, Vision and Power breathing down their necks. Master O'Reilly, who lost his action and 6 lengths on the turn, rallies again to be beaten a length and a half.
If this horse goes back to Mooney Valley where he's unbeaten, Rich, what you're still...
And we can understand now he's been wanting at the finish in a couple of races, but we realise there's only that 300 metres where you can really open him up, and then he battles. If he just cruises into the race, and he can run at 9/10 right the way through, but he's just got that 300 metres where you can really open him up, sort of thing. And
Side of this break, we're going to go, of course, the Caulfield Guineas is coming up, Terry.
He's a tremendous galloper. Bookmakers chancing their arm on track, Steve. They're out to $2.90 already, so I think he's probably going to get close to that $3 mark now.
Which is looking pretty attractive, isn't it? And surely you must have changed ships. If Bart can win the Toorak with LA Wonder, well, so you think with the blinkers first time, this must be a good thing here in the Guineas. Must be a good thing here in the Guineas.
Well, he's my Cox Plate horse. I'm hoping he runs a great second to Denman, and then this price shortens up for the Cox Plate. Okay,
3-year-olds will join the list of, well, almost greats, isn't it, that has become the honour roll of the Caulfield Guineas. 0, 2 lengths to Tickets. Nicastro went right back, trusting second last, and 2 or 3 lengths, So You Think, at the tail of the field. Star Spangled Banner allowed to roll along in the Guineas, went out by 3 lengths at the 1,000 metres from Carrara. Fence, a length and a half further back is Nicastro, trusting, and 2 lengths to So You Think. Up the side, Star Spangled Banner out on a long lead in the Guineas by 4 or 5 lengths Carrara. 2 lengths Manhattan Rain, Denman the outside, and a clear Fast Pass. 2 lengths further back is Tickets, followed then by Rivers Lane. Then Extra Zero, trusting, starting his move, followed by Nicastro. And So You Think last as the field, bunched up in the Guineas. Star Spangled Banner led from Carrara, Manhattan Rain. Denman's been wide all the way into the straight next to Clear Fast Pass. Let's see, Trusting and So You Think still a long way back. Star Spangled Banner by 2 lengths Carrara, Manhattan Rain. Denman battling away still. Star Spangled Banner at the 100 metres from Carrara, Manhattan Rain. They're not going to get him. Star Spangled Banner all the way over 2 lengths. Carrara second. Either Manhattan Rain or Extra Zero for third. Not much between them. So You Think warmed up late when it was all over down the outside. They're followed then by a Clear Fast Pass. Manhattan Rain, Tickets, Rivers Lane, Denman.
It's great. The camera here will show you, but it's not Troy. What a terrific thrill.
This is the best 3-year-old in Australia, Bruce. In Australia. He'll get the mile, don't worry about that.
Well, I was convinced by you go into these races, like it was start at field, then you go into these races and you keep hoping, you've done everything right. Well, Troy's the... And I thought that the horse wasn't really quite there yet, so I'd still say there's quite a bit of improvement in him. I didn't have to improve too much on the 1,000 metres in there.
Speaking about $13, thanks very much. 1, 2, 3 on the corner, Steve. 1, 2, 3 home. That late sectional tells the story here, 34.29.
Yes.
Out of the gate's a little bit funny. I wasn't too concerned about that. I looked up and just saw the pace, and they were going pretty silly, and actually got to the half mile and thought, I can just sit back here and smoke my pipe. They've gone that hard, and there's a few of them getting roughed around like Denman and that. So I just started trusting up coming to about the 600 there, and yeah, they just got away from us. I let my bloke down, and his turn of foot was outstanding. I looked up, and I hadn't even made any ground. I just couldn't believe it. For a horse like him, I'd sort of, probably put the head down, bum up for a little bit just to get him going. And yeah, once I looked up, I just made very little ground. So it was strange, but he's a lovely horse. He gave me a great feel, and obviously he's going to be horse of the future.
I think he's definitely come to the end of his tether. I think he'll be a very good.
One of the fascinating things about racing is we hailed this crop of 3-year-olds that were running in the Guineas as the greatest in 20 years. Now we're sort of saying, well, are they? I mean, last year.
Look, I don't know what to think about the Sydney horses. Look, we're all in raptures about, the Denmans and the Trustings and the So You Thinks.
Maybe they just had.
Maybe it was one run too many.
Yeah, maybe they were at the
too
end
many
of
grand finals, or maybe it was just the way the race was run. I think So You Think gets a tick there, though.
Yeah.
Right, Ronnie.
It certainly has been. Now we've got two horses fighting out favouritism for the Herbert Power. Shocking needs to win this. So does Alco Pop if they're going to force their hand into the cups. It's about $4.80 up against $5 with Alco Pop as the favourite for the race. Let's go right down the bush to 7.
A little nibble for the one they found here, Terry.
Yes,
Sandhawk, $17 into 15. And Alka Pop, $4.40, out to $4.80.
800 left to go. Britomata neck away. Arapaho Miss had moved up deep out to third. Lady Avacan, figure of speech next, and then trailed Sandhawk. A length and a half hissing set, and then came Mr. Tipsy. Alco Pop still biding his time. Precedence is on a move around the outside, and Shocking is trying to go with him. And they're trailed then by Cape Cover, Kabutch, Young Centaur, Hard Ridden, and then Dan Dart and Hurang. Coming around the turns, the beat Britomart and Arapaho Miss, who's worked very hard. Sandhawk was next. Alco Pop's in the clear, and Precedence, the widest runner. They're starting to work home, and Hissing Setters trying to thread the needle. Zabit at the 200, tackled by Alco Pop, who sprinted hard and dashed to the lead now. Here comes Shocking running on, but it's Alco Pop 2 lengths in front from Shocking, and then Hissing Sid, who got through, but it's all over. Alco Pop careers away, and he won it by 3 lengths to Shocking. Hissing Sid third, Zabit held fourth. Hurang got home, and then Arapaho Miss battled after a really tough run. Followed is last in the Herbert Bell.
I'll use one word to describe that: arrogant. Absolutely arrogant, Alco Pop. And a fairy tale story is coming through here during this carnival, Steve, with Jake Stevens and Dominic Teneur. He won't lose the ride on this horse because he rides him too well.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic story, not only for this young trainer, Jake Stevens, this young guy. He had a rise too. Hissing Sid, he wants the 2 miles now, Hissing Sid. But gee, that's an explosive win, isn't it?
It certainly is. His dad won a Melbourne Cup. Would there be some dream that he could qualify now? Evidence. Bruce caught up with him last time out. There's the totes on screen with Alco Pop at $5. He started 5.
Well, where do we start here? 7 wins from 10 starts. Most exciting staying performance. Better than Master O'Reilly, won the race and won a Caulfield Cup. This horse can't go in. Steve will tell us why. Shocking.
Horse that had won, I think it was at the Valley, called Alto Pop. It's you thought it'd be a rough chance in the Melbourne Cup.
I'm a believer now.
Oh,
You're a believer now,
Yeah.
Well,
You've seen his
you've
believing.
been converted. Saying that this particular galloper had its first start over in South Australia on last Melbourne Cup day.
Yeah, he was in the race number 1, barrier number 1, and won the race.
He's certainly come a long way.
Yeah, exciting.
That's it.
So, pretty start. 15 at the moment.
Jake, a horse like this attracts attention, Jake. Have the Sharks been circling trying to buy this horse?
A little bit, not too much. I mean, sort of a couple of sort of bites and things, and we're tempted it.
Jake, the further this horse goes, now we talk about the JRA Cup and we talk about the Herbert Power yesterday, he seemed to show better acceleration over the 2400 than he did in the 2000. Did you agree?
Sections were amazing, weren't they?
They were.
Yep, I was astounded. Well, he's getting a bit of an air of confidence about him, and I think the crowd and things really like to risk him.
Super Tab route out in this hot mares race, which sees Hot Danish as the favourite on Super Tab at $2.50. You can do a bit better than that on track at $3. Bookies betting well again here to 110%. Nearly 600,000 already in the pool.
About the chances of the favourite here, number 2, Hot Danish, Dan Nicholas, right?
Run out here, wind continues to blow. Good news for the supporters of
And Tootsie was a length away. It's Jolly Shinju leading. Typhoon Tracy sooled along to second. Glow Lamp third. Goldwater under pressure. So is Hot Danish when they corner, and then Velocity. Jolly Shinju being tackled by Typhoon Tracy. Glow Lamp on the fence and 2 lengths to Hot Danish. Now she's starting to wind up when they get to the 200. Typhoon Tracy has the lead. Hot Danish coming after her, and they look the ones to fight it out, but Typhoon Tracy is going strongly. She has them beaten. Typhoon Tracy back to the 1400, won it by 3 lengths to Hot Danish. Glow Lamp third, narrowly fourth. Then Alberta. Tootsie, who was followed in.
I think they're still a bit in the tank, so really looking forward to Derby Day now.
All right, just go straight. So, Brett, how do you rate this filly?
Oh, listen, she's the best performed horse I've got. Certainly the best older horse I've got. So, yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have a little girl at home called Black Caviar that I don't know if she's got a peer, but this one will do while she's having a holiday. Saturday, they rolled along a bit, and certainly we missed him.
Respectively. Just like the previous race, they ran it along. They've broken 123. Jolly Sinju set up a good.
Well, that was awesome. She gapped Hot Danish, who's the benchmark race mare in the country. $3.90. They bet $4. She's off towards the Group 1 Mile Classic, as most of these will.
Yeah, it's satisfactory. But look, she is all class.
He's a great trainer. He is a great trainer. He's not a dreamer like some trainers. Like her target was going to be the Cox Plate. Moody said, hang on. She's not going to run the 2,000 metres. Let's just freshen her up, get her back on track, and look what she's done there. That's an absolute dominant win.
She'll go to the mile of the mire, and she'll start favourite, and a deserved favourite too, because she's
and you can
very,
thank
very
the trainer for that. She wins it because
Yep.
look, you could have easily got off track there and said, look, we're still want to press on for the Cox.
I'm a
Plate.
big fan of the second.
Running for Local Hope Predatory Pricer in tomorrow's big Caulfield Cup. Now,
$8.70. Big odds Firmicino. Master O'Reilly $11.80. Roman for $9.70. LA Wonder down the bottom.
Predatory Pricer. All the money with him, Steve, and I guess the upgrade to a dead 4 and putting it all the 4. He does look hard to beat.
He does. And she's been a little bit easy, so she's getting out to an attractive price here on track. Kirklee's easy. Daffodil is out to $11 from 9. LA Wonder down the bottom. 9. Family. Yeah. This also
Set for the BMW Caulfield Cup. They're off and racing. Predatory Pricer jumped away okay. Viewed, snared at the start. Red Ruler began fast. Zavita away quickly. So too Daffodil. Here's Fiumicino and Vigor with Light Vision. They're coming over from outside barriers. The charge onto the first turn by Kirklees, and then Harris Tweed on the fence. A length further back is Serera, Master O'Reilly and Predatory Pricer posted deep still, followed by Viewed and Sailor Gear, and Ready to Lift is last. They've got 800 metres to go in the cup now, and Zavit had the lead from Fiumicino, LA Wonder, and Light Vision is fourth. 2 lengths further back is Roman Emperor Vigor. They're followed by Red Ruler starting a move, and they're 3 lengths to Daffodil. Timidee Triumph was next, being hard ridden, followed by Red Lord, and then came Kirklees and Viewed getting up on the inside as they neared the turn. It's Zavit, Fiumicino, Light Vision's coming at them from Vigor. LA Wonder just behind these, and Roman Emperor's looking for a run. He's travelling well, and Red Ruler's coming around the outside, and then Daffodil. Fiumicino takes the lead. Roman Emperor desperately trying to get through. Vigor's on the outside. He's got the split now, and Roman Emperor at the 200 race to the lead. Vigor's getting up on the inside. Viewed is coming at them too. Viewed right over on the fence. He's hit the front for Bart. Viewed in front of Roman Emperor. Viewed is clear, and Viewed will win the Caulfield Cup by 2 lengths to Roman Emperor. Vigor 3/4 away third. Light Vision's coming at them from Vigor. LA Wonder just behind these, and Roman Emperor's looking for a run. He's travelling well, and Red Ruler's coming around the outside, and then Daffodil. Fiumicino takes the lead. Roman Emperor desperately trying to get through. Vigor's on the outside. He's got the split now, and Roman Emperor at the 200 race to the lead. Vigor's getting up on the inside. Viewed is coming at them too. Viewed right over on the fence. He's hit the front for Bart. Viewed in front of Roman Emperor. Viewed is clear, and Viewed will win the Caulfield Cup by 2 lengths to Roman Emperor. Vigor 3/4 away third. Place fourth between Daffodil and Fiumicino. Master O'Reilly, LA Wonder, Kirklees, Harris Tweed, and further back to finish was Beat and Lord, and Light Vision drops out in the run home. The genius of Bart Cummings prevails. He wins his 7th Caulfield Cup. Brad Ruler, his first at just his 2nd ride. And what a ride.
And take a bow, Brad Rawiller. One of the great rides you will see in a Caulfield Cup. Snagged him early, got him back third.
Cummings, Quinellas the cup.
remarkable performance. He did it back in 1980, of course, with Ming Dynasty and Hyperno. He does it again today, a 7th Caulfield Cup. The man is the legend of Australian racing.
What more can you say? I mean,
This horse is right. And Steve will tell you that he's just got this genius instinct.
well, yeah.
Well, the first Melbourne Cup winner to come back and win a Caulfield Cup since Rising Fast. That's 1956. He's a Brisbane Cup winner. And now he's a Caulfield Cup winner. He's won 5.75 million baht. 1-2 there. Emperor's done that before. So too Danny O'Brien and Brad's ride here, Steve. But clearly the best horse, the best stayer, won the race.
Well, particularly he skipped home in 47-1 the last 800 at the end of the Caulfield Cup. And he's as full of running at the finish as any of those behind. It's hard to get enthused. I watched the race 15 times last night. I've trawled through the sectionals, tried to find something. And there were a couple of, Kirk Lees, when you look at it again, didn't go too badly. Like Daffodil was okay.
I mean, there's none of those splashing trials in recent years.
Like Master O'Reilly got home well, so did Daffodil, but geez, you think they need to start early to beat Viewed if all things goes equal. If the run at this time of the year.
Any other trainer in our time that will match the feats of Bart Cummins?
Well, I'm sure there won't be, Graham. We all call him the legend. He is a legend. I love his quote after the race when he said, "A lucky win." Maybe he's looking for no penalty there.
He's like the Don Bradman.
Look, how are they going to beat Viewed in the Melbourne? How are any of them going to beat Viewed in the Melbourne Cup? He gets better at 2 miles. He's the only horse in the field that is a proven 2-mile horse. And I know it was a brilliant ride.
All right, let's have a look at the Melbourne Cup market as it stands at the moment. Efficient's up at the top there with Viewed. Alco Pop, your
He's
horse
the dark
there,
horse, Alco Pop.
Speed Gifted.
No, he's not the dark horse.
Bart Cummings trained Viewed will carry top weight of 58 kilograms along with Efficient in the Melbourne Cup. Viewed was penalised a kilo for his Caulfield win and will now have to be one of the all-time greats to win back-to-back cups.
His chief handicapper believes the money is spot on.
I think we're living in a moment where we are seeing 2 of the best stayers that Australia has ever produced. I think with 50 that Australia has ever produced. I think with 58, they both have a winning opportunity.
The attention.
Master trainer coming up, Shane. Rangi Rangdu is the horse that certainly holds all the questions. Punters have got him pretty firm. He's $3.30 out to $3.90, the Sydney Sider.
Yeah, 3 races. Still All American doesn't budge, and neither does the bottom set.
He must. At the 600, La Rocket a length and a half, Builder, Bolay and Magical Pearl on the fence. Lucky Thunder just niggled that to hold his ground as Rangi Rangdu starts a move. There's Sound of Nature putting in a burst, and All American tries to come up with him, and Raffaello is going to be the widest, trying to swoop home. Lucky Thunder shuffled right out towards the end. Rangi Rangdu raced up and went to La Rocket around the turn. Sound of Nature, and here comes All American coming home. Rangi Rangdu kicked away though from Sound of Nature, La Rocket, All American and Raffaello, but Rangi Rangdu is too classy for them and he came away to score by 3. Sound of Nature second, All American third, La Rocket fourth, Raffaello fifth. Then Lucky Thunder, well, he was unlucky Thunder today.
I'll say 2 things, Shane. First, at the 800 metres mark, the race was all over. He was never going to get beat. He had them covered. You won't see a more dominant win today. And B, would he have been a Cox Plate contender on that performance, Shane?
He might well have broken the record here.
Has he?
He's run 1:34.9. He is some horse, actually.
It's off the course record. Blinkers certainly have worked today.
Yeah, they have, Bruce.
He's had one next year.
And he's a pin tyre, so he's only going to get better. And the other thing too, Shane.
Then Lucky Thunder, well, he was...
For a long time as the #1 ticket holder. I've always said I think in 6-12 months he'll be the best horse in Australia. Although he's a 5-year-old, he's a real big baby. Like, you walk through the stables and if you don't...
Fired the early crow, so I backed him. And at about the 600, I just opened my best bets and started looking at the form for the next.
He was well weighted, 57.5, and horses don't.
Yeah, look, what can you say? Look, he's a good trainer, Waller. He just puts them through their grades. This is a horse for the Cox Plate next year. I love the fact that Corey Brown made him hit the line because he's pulled up a couple of times of late. The blinkers went on. He hit him in the right hand. He hit him in the left hand. He made him go to the line. Leave me out of that.
In the hope, but now, what a sprint field we've got to watch here.
It's a beauty. Now let's go down the board to give you a bit of an assessment. Apache Cat opened up too short at $3. He's out to $3.50 with the bookmakers. Safe Punters 81 to 101. Proper for Gay 13 to 4.
Yeah, Lucky Secret was the first one to move up into the stalls. He's drawn the inside and now Duport comes up into the gates. Beautiful start too. Lucky Secret brilliantly away, finds the lead. It's here, and then Danley and Falaise together at the rear. At the 600, Bank Robber by a length and a half. Lucky Secret came off the rail. Micmac went up 3 wide. Apache Cat behind them 4. Light Fantastic next from Dewport, Hortensia, Danley and Falaise. Bank Robber comes round the turn from Lucky Secret. Micmac, Light Fantastic sooled along. So too Apache Cat just behind them when they corner, and then Danley into the straight, and Micmac went up with Lucky Secret to tackle Bank Robber. Then Light Fantastic and Apache Cat getting up on the inside. Micmac has it narrowly. Bank Robber coming back, and here's the Cat. Apache Cat flashes home along the fence, and he's got up the win. Apache Cat beat Micmac and a Urel Quinella. Bank Robber, I think he got the third from Hortensia. Lucky Secret wilted late. And they're followed by Danley Falaise. Light Fantastic didn't finish the race off towards the end, and Dewport is last. The
Well, if you're on track here, the crowd's gone berserk. Damien Oliver's done it again, Shane, with Apache Cat. And there's one thing about this horse, he is a winner.
So's the jock. Listen to this. This is amazing. None of those.
That was a buzz. What a roar. You know, I was a bit concerned there. During the race, I thought Bang would come off again. And this bloke, he's just a legend. You know, he dived through that gap and he's just too strong for him. I mean, really.
That right, but great moment on another great Cox Plate day when the crowd just roared as they saw the bald face Apache Cat dive through. What a horse this bloke is, Steve. 18 career wins, 4.5 million. He's in great form. Well, in the Gregory L 1-2 there. Bank Robber and not.
And I think
We got you $3 early in the day, now into $2.90, over 100,000 invested on the fave there. Harder Dreams a clear second pick at $6. Speed Gifted as Ease from 10 out to 11. Very solid, so you think, for Bart at $13. El Segundo also.
325, but the bookies on track opened up 3 and the punter said, we like the way Ollie's riding today. We're going to stick with this favourite. Picking for quite a few.
He did it beautifully again with the parade of those champions of the past. And now a new champion to write his name in the history books. They're moving it. Racing in the Cox Plate, and Rock Kingdom bombed the start. Who got you alongside of him away okay. So You Think with a flyer, and Manhattan Rain from the outside began fast. Heart of Dreams and Road to Rock kicking up on the inside with Zipping down to the judge. So You Think goes to the lead. Heart of Dreams tightened at the turn out of the straight, and the 3-year-olds are 1-2 to the 1600. It's So You Think the leader out to the 1200 metres in the Cox Plate. He leads by 3 lengths. He really runs along. Manhattan Rain second, 2.5 Heart of Dreams, and they're followed then by Road to Rock. Almost a length away is Zipping being trailed further back, Vision and Power. Scenic Shot commencing a move at the 1,000 metres. 2 lengths Nom de Jour, Rock Kingdom. 2.5 lengths further back is Black Piranha. Oliver riding the patient race on Who Begot You, trailed by El Segundo and Speed Gifted. So You Think went round the 800 turn. Leads by a length and a half, Manhattan Rain. Scenic Shot was off early. Around him then Zipping, and they're followed 2.5 lengths away is Heart of Dreams. Road to Rock on the inside, then Vision and Power. Rock Kingdom and Who Got You pulls out to start his move. It's So You Think narrowly from Manhattan Rain. Scenic Shot, Zipping's under the whip. Heart of Dreams starting to come home. Who Got You's running on strongly, and then came Road to Rock around the turn. So You Think is about a half in front of Manhattan Rain, and the 3-year-olds lead by 2 or 3. Who Got You running on with Heart of Dreams. So You Think led by 2 lengths. He shook off Manhattan Rain. Who Got You and El Segundo charging home, but it's all over. So You Think is going to go all the way. He's racing clear, and So You Think has bolted in the Cox Plate. Manhattan Rain ran second. The 3-year-olds, Quinella and Zipping, came back. I think he might have got third from El. Around the turn, So You Think is about a half in front of Manhattan Rain, and the 3-year-olds lead by 2 or 3. Who Got You running on with Heart of Dreams. So You Think led by 2 lengths. He shook off Manhattan Rain. Who Got You and El Segundo charging home, but it's all over. So You Think is going to go all the way. He's racing clear, and So You Think has bolted in the Cox Plate. Manhattan Rain ran second. The 3-year-olds, Quinella and Zipping, came back. I think he might have got third from El Segundo. That's a photo. Scenic Shot next, and then Who Got You and Heart of Dreams. They didn't finish the race off. Gifted. That's probably the greatest training triumph that Bart Cummings has produced in his entire career.
They're There are not words to describe it, and Glenn Boss went forward, and the race was as good as that.
Now, but let's have a talk about this horse. He has won a Cox Plate at his 5th start in the race. It's only his 2nd win. He's done it by going straight to the front, leading all the way, absolutely smashing a pretty good field. We might have seen the start of a superstar career here. The other 3-year-olds run let loose, wait for age race in the Southern Hemisphere. He's led all the way and bolted in. I don't know where he is today, but whether Bruce has been able to get him.
Well, to you. Congratulations to you, Bob. I mean, 5th start in the race. I mean, even that you must be so well satisfied with the horse, but you're training to get this horse to win at the 5th start.
Well, I think the horse did the job. He had the ability. It's just a matter of getting relaxed and experience. And it turned out quite.
Could this horse be, Bob? To do this at his 5th start, is he possibly the best that you've had?
We've had some good ones. It's hard to compare them. They've all been good mates of mine and helped me a great deal. But this up's one of the best.
You found him. Now he's broken 2 paw. Now that's Martin Tower type time as well, isn't it? So 2:3.98. It's not as if he was out there loafing.
No,
tried. He's obviously going to be a bit raw, immature. When I rode him 10 days ago, I knew he possessed something. It was very raw, and when you put him in the direction, he goes there quick, but he goes, where are we going? But it's 100 mile an hour. But so the actual talent's there, and certainly, like, another Cox Plate, you just don't know what's going to happen next. The gate's open, all of a sudden I'm in front. And when he was very relaxed, he was waiting for something to come. And honestly, I just can't believe it coming in the turn. I was that far in front. This shouldn't happen. This doesn't happen in Cox Plates.
Did you want to lead in the Cox?
Photo. Scenic shot next.
Well, that's astonishing. That's history. Only 5 career starts. The previous record for the Cox Plate for youth was 9. To think the horse is only 2, really. Born on November 10, 14-1. Boss gets his 2nd brigade shortly. But let's just talk about how good this winner is. I think Bart does think, Steve, that this is the best he's had.
And that's probably fair enough, Bruce. And even in the lead up to the race, even though he doesn't say a lot, but at the breakfast with the stars at Moonee Valley, he pretty much said that. He said, I think this horse is going to be one of the best I've ever had. Will that be in 4 days' time or 4 months? He wasn't committal on that. But a fantastic performance yesterday. No excuses for the zip, pardon the pun these days, to pick up the 3-year-olds. But you've got to say every horse had their chance in this Cox Plate.
Martin Power type performance here.
You're the fastest.
They're pretty decent horses, nonetheless.
Might have seen the greatest Cox Plate winner. I mean, Dulcify was that stunning performance. Consider this horse at its 5th start in the race.
In the Cox Plate and giving him to running him in the Emirates. Many moons ago, Bart did it with Taj Rossi. He won the Cox Plate. He also won the Derby in between. This horse is not nominated for the Derby. But, it's a Group 1 race worth $1 million. Horses in.
Lloyd Williams made a very good comment about the 4-year-olds, that you need a champion 4-year-old to win a Cox Plate. And you look back at the 4-year-olds that have won it, and there's a point there to say that he's right. The question has to be asked, we've always suspected that these 3-year-olds have been a top-class bunch, and the Caulfield Guinea.
A definite this morning, but a number of these runners are trying to get into the Melbourne Cup. This is the Lexus Stakes over the 2500. Of course, it's been known as the Saab.
Prince goes into the gates. The well-tried Hume links in for Starthy Katsidis. The outside got the Sterling Prince. Britamart's on the scene quickly. Joins the leaders around the home turn. And they're followed then by Cape Breton. Cat's Fun in behind them with the Razoo. Shocking getting up on the inside. He's starting to make a strong run. 300 to go. Sterling Prince comes back. Again finds the lead from Light Vision. But Shocking is finishing brilliantly along the inside. Further back, here comes Hume out wide. But Shocking right over on the fence is stashed away. Hume running on strongly into 2nd placing at the 100 though. Shocking 3 lengths in front as it's shot to bits. Shocking scored, eased up. That's a very good win. Beat Hume 2.5. 3 lengths Arazu. Close sport Sterling Prince or Naval Escort. A break then, Light Vision. Rest have finished in a bunch. Nothing like a cat's picked up a few. Then 6 o'clock news, Golden Charmer.
2 other trainers smiling too. Of course, Jake wouldn't be unhappy to see Shocking win like that. It franks the Elko Pop form big time. And Danny O'Brien.
The Lexus Stakes coming back to scale. There is $390.
Schumacher, that's a filly. Better sectionals than Viewed at the end of 2,500 metres, and that puts them in line with Master O'Reilly and co. I thought it was a terrific Cup trial. It does highlight the Elko Pop form again.
It was up and ran 3rd, maybe better, of course. Be very surprised if he's not in the finish of the Cup. Shocking. I think he's going super. Hume is
horses. Look, you can't rule this horse out in the Melbourne Cup. He's He's on the quick backup, which you may need. He's got a sense of timing about him. It probably emphasises the Alco Pop form, who Alco Pop has had his measure the past few starts, but at least this horse is there, and he looks to be in terrific form. He charges to the line here, and
that's the good thing, isn't it? The way he hit the line. I mean, I'm not worried so much about the time being faster because losers set times.
you know the other thing, it's the Flemington angle. He's 2 from 2, two dominant with Flemington.
That's impressive bit. The way he hit the line.
Wakeful Stakes. Well, this has been a great race heading on towards the VRC Oaks, hasn't it? And at this stage, run for now.
Coming in. Now, Jolly Breeze is about to come up into the blue colours, gold cap buried back on the fence. Faint Perfume creeping into the race. She started to come home. Savsbell tries to follow her. Run for Nara temporarily in traffic, and for Churchill last. Inside the 400 metres now. Jolly Breeze has gone to the lead. Here's Melito, Faint Perfume, and Silence Around's getting right up on the inside. Run for Nara looked to be a little too far back. Faint Perfume out in the middle of the course goes to the lead from Melito. Silence Around and Run for Nara. The unbeatable Bart Cummings has Faint Perfume racing away to win the Wakefield by 3 lengths, and it was easy. She might do it in the Oaks as well. Silence Around second, Melito third, and then Run for Nara and Savsbell. A break behind these to finish in traffic, and for Churchill last inside the 400 metres.
Starts 13th Wakefield. His first was Light Fingers in 1964, and his most recent Perfume. She'd actually out-galloped, so you think, at Moonee Valley in the lead up to the Cox Plate, Richard.
They won't beat her in the Oaks, this filly. You saw the way she cruised up outside them. She was the last horse to come off the bridle, and the last horse for the rein. The longer they had gone, the further she would have beaten them by. Well, and the Oaks, 2,500 metres, she'll beat them by further.
Well, that's 2,000.
On Derby Day, and she's paid $370 and got out to pay $130 for the
Back in 96 with the Nendry, who's the grandmother of that horse. That was absolutely awesome. Invoked the Mercy Rule at the 600. Had them completely covered, towed them. $1.80, $1.90 now for the Oaks. That's good odds off that. And here she is, favourite for the Oaks. Here's the market with Sporting Bet Australia, $1.95. Take it. Valdemoro, Tony Vassal's well-bred filly there from Livia.
Perfume. Well,
yes, that's just odds on, and over the line in the Oaks, unless something happens to it, which I, touch wood. It's
well, she ran faster than the McKinnon.
Oh, it's over the line.
Yeah.
Hey, and run.
50 narrowly or Neroli. 650 blinkers on, 5 and 6 are out. Lady Lynette at $9. Tuttle Cove $61. The favourite's the girl Typhoon Tracy from BJ Moody looking for a double. $2.10 dominant favourite. Goldwater at 9. Glow Lamp 70.
to 1 in the space of 12 hours.
Exactly right. And Faint Perfume.
Away and racing at the 1600 metres. Typhoon Tracy jumping well. Oh, Hot Danish has missed the start, and she settles last. Jolie Shinju first to ping out. Goldwater away fast. There's Typhoon Tracy coming over. She's posted 3 wide at the moment. 2 lengths Emblem of Liberty. Hot Danish ripping through the field, gets up 5th on the inside. Favourite still caught wide. They're followed further back then by Subtle Cove on the out. Bunch of horses, Subtle Cove, Glow Lamp round the outside, and Valdez of Veloz. One narrowly, Zarita picking up some ground from Lady Lynette and Messenger last. Coming around the turn, less than 600 to go. Jolie Shinju, headed by Goldwater. Typhoon Tracy, poised for a run. Right behind her, Emblem of Liberty. Hot Danish on the inside. They've swung into the straight, and further back is Subtle Cove. Zarita pulled out wide at the 400. Typhoon Tracy kicked away. She's 2-3 lengths in front now. Here comes Zarita. Hot Danish is boxing on, followed by Subtle Cove and Lady Lynette. Typhoon Tracy heads past the 200 by 3 or 4. Nolan pulled the whip. Zarita boxing on narrowly. Lady Lynette, but it's all Typhoon Tracy. Look at her go. Typhoon Tracy makes a mess of them. Scored by 4 lengths. Lady Lynette. Zarita and side. They've swung into the straight, and further back is Subtle Cove. Zarita pulled out wide at the 400. Typhoon Tracy kicked away. She's 2-3 lengths in front now. Here comes Zarita. Hot Danish is boxing on, followed by Subtle Cove and Lady Lynette. Typhoon Tracy heads past the 200 by 3 or 4. Nolan pulled the whip. Zarita boxing on narrowly. Lady Lynette, but it's all Typhoon Tracy. Look at her go. Typhoon Tracy makes a mess of them. Scored by 4 lengths. Lady Lynette. Zarita and narrowly in a bobber for third. Hot Danish was next in, and then Subtle Cove, Glow Lamp. They come in at long intervals. Further back is Messenger Bell.
She's outstanding. She won a race here in March, and she reminded us
he couldn't keep going at all. she kept going and put an
Starts. That's her 7th win, and she's had the 2 minor placings too. There are the English interims. Let's have...
Oh, that's just awesome to make them look second rate in the Group 1. She's got the Premier Sydney Group 1 for the fillies and mares in the Coolmore. Now she's got the Premier Melbourne Group 1 for the fillies and mares. And she's obviously at the absolute peak of her game. Pete, Typhoon Trade.
Remarkable. I don't think I've trained a horse like with that mannerism in a race. Like he did tell me, John and Fermo Hutchin, that breeder and owners, you know, he would have loved to have had a Cox Plate horse and loved to have a horse good enough to travel overseas. Now, you know, she might mature into a Cox Plate horse next year. She might get a mile and a quarter. You look at that win and it'd be hard to argue that she's not going to get a mile and a quarter, but next year she might be strong enough. And the other thing is, you know, we've had a taste of overseas.
Can't be any more dominant than that for me.
Well, she'd have to be the best mare in Australia without a doubt. She proved it there. She's just won the big Group 1 there, and she didn't beat them. She absolutely destroyed them.
Embarrassed them.
She's got tactical speed. It was a lovely ride. He slotted in there from the wide.
First time drawn inside. I thought it was still a good run, but hey,
in another race.
I know they're in another world. You're spot on there.
Shocking. Here's the $11 chance. Viewed favourite with Sporting Bet. Popular call for Bart over Alco Pop. Popular call for everybody else. Roman.
Full currency changing hands, particularly from one of Australia's biggest gamblers.
To win 100,000, Sean Bartholomew.
On a race like this, my invest will be somewhere between 200,000 and 400,000, somewhere in that range.
No, you buy a house with it.
You buy 10 houses with what I might win. Bartholomew supporting Viewed and Shocking as other punters join.
Let's see the update of what's happening on the tote. $5 for Viewed. He's still at $6 here on course. So no real changes to the betting. 14 into 12 for Master O'Reilly. Further down, most of them seem to be pretty static because, of course, we've had so much betting already through the week and particularly earlier on.
And they're off now. Elko Pop jumping away cleanly from Crime Scene. Basiltico Viewed jumps okay. Spin around shows some speed on the inside, and Munsif is up there early from Galleon's Reach. Sailor Gear drops in for a trail with Zabit. Here's Fiumicino and Warringa out wider, going up towards the leaders in a bunching field in the early stages of it. Roman Emperor trying to cross over somewhere. Elko Pop's got into about midfield on the rails. Side here in the nose roll. A length and a half Shocking also caught 3 deep at the moment. Sailor Gear tucked in on the rails, and then came Munsif. A length further back is Alco Pop, Kabucha, then came the Great Newport, added Dawdle down to the post. 5th, and then Crime Scene spin around a length and a half to Munsif. Sailor Gear. Shocking still out wide, and they're followed by Kabucha. 2 lengths to Alco Pop, 2 lengths away LA Wonder and Newport, a length and a half to Viewed. They're followed by Like a Ding, Marillion, Harris, Tweed. Further back in the field is Daffodil, Basiltico, Master O'Reilly, Cape Cover, and Ista Karima still last in the field, strung out by the 1,000. And Warringa still the leader. Roman Emperor second, a length away. A length Fiumicino, a half Galleon's Reach, a length Zabit, Crime Scene. They're followed by Spin Around and Shocking, Sailor Gear. Further back is Kabucha. LA Wonder sneaking up on the inside. Tanua's taken Elko Pop to the outside, just trying to start make some ground on this field. He's under some pressure around the home turn, and back behind him is Viewed. It's Warringa, tackled by Roman Emperor. Galleon's Reach. Crime Scene a little wider out when they corner. Fiumicino trying to find a way clear, followed by Zabit. Shocking putting in a run. Harris Tweed down the outside. Sailor Gear is threading through. Elko Pop out very wide. 300 metres to go. Here's Shocking after Crime Scene, who'd hit the lead. Harris Tweed was rider out, and then Sailor Gear and Elko Pop. It's Crime Scene and Shocking racing clear at the 200 from Elko Pop. It's on the outside, Shocking and Crime Scene. Shocking with his head in front of Crime Scene. Shocking drawing away. It's Shocking to win the Melbourne Cup from Crime Scene. Marillion's come from nowhere to grab third. Master O'Reilly fourth. Through. Elko Pop out very wide. 300 metres to go. Here's Shocking after Crime Scene, who'd hit the lead. Harris Tweed was rider out, and then Sailor Gear and Elko Pop. It's Crime Scene and Shocking racing clear at the 200 from Elko Pop. It's on the outside, Shocking and Crime Scene. Shocking with his head in front of Crime Scene. Shocking drawing away. It's Shocking to win the Melbourne Cup from Crime Scene. Marillion's come from nowhere to grab third. Master O'Reilly 4. Viewed, Harris Tweed, Elko Pop next, followed by Newport, and further back Sailor Gear. Galleon's Reach, Like a Ding.
One of the great cup performances of all time. He has sat 3 wide the trip. I know it's a windy day and that might change things, but he had no cover. He's produced a sustained run in the straight. He had to fight with Crime Scene most of the way up the straight. And Corey Brown, who last year was agonisingly beaten and the closest of photo finishes. Look at him, he can't believe it. He's 2 seconds in the cup and a third. He fell in the cup, and here, 3 deep all the way, and Mark Kavanagh, what a training performance this has been. Let's go straight to you.
Great job, Mark Kavanagh on the horse. Travelled 3 deep, no cover. I know he had a lightweight, but he toughed it out very well.
You know, it was just, you know, the superior stayer on the day.
Finally there, Corey. Pulling up, shocking after taking out the Melbourne Cup for 2009, 990, 360, 1080 crime scene, and 820. Well, the Europeans have stood up briefly on shocking.
Coming here. View got into trouble. Alco Pop got into trouble. The suspension's out of it, but it was a great story.
Yeah, it certainly was, Bruce. You just wouldn't believe that the man who was so devastated to be beaten an inch in last year's Cup, Corey Brown, would return 12 months later and make amends.
In the Cup, well, I thought the second horse crime scene run out of his skin there. There's
That was
no
a great
doubt
run,
about
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Meridian, what a nice horse.
well, he would have to be the run of the race, considering the way the race was run.
Yeah.
He sprinted from the back, and I'm suggesting if they would have put speed on in that race, he could well have won the race.
Could have been the winner.
But
yeah.
The extraordinary performance by Shocking, because as you said, it was 3 wide, but the slow pace certainly helped it along, Ronnie.
Well, it's not just the slow pace. It's like it's probably the slowest run Cup I can remember, and we must consider before this race. I would suggest nothing had come along the fence.
Whatever straightened up, obviously. When you dealt a card like Barrier 22, I thought Corey's ride was absolutely fantastic.
Of Melbourne Cup Week, the Crown Oaks for 2009 over the 2,500 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. It is worth $1 million. Faint Perfume. They opened her up at $1.55.
Taken.
Silence around about to come into the stalls. Who's hard ridden? Princess Rage. Valdemoro peels to the outside. And here's Rod starting his move on the favourite now, Faint Perfume. They're into the straight. Silence around. On the outside, well-rounded. Savs Bell joining in. 2 or 3 Valdemoro. And the widest runner, Faint Perfume. Now she's asked for the supreme run. Savs Bell racing up to well-rounded. Valdemoro joining in. Faint Perfume the widest at the 200 metres. She's letting down with a beautiful run. Valdemoro tackled by Faint Perfume. They're followed by Savs Bell and well-rounded. Faint Perfume got to Valdemoro at the 100-metre mark. It's Faint Perfume about a head in front of Valdemoro. And Faint Perfume, Bart's done it. Faint Perfume beat Valdemoro and 4 lengths to Savs Bell third. A break of 4 or 5 lengths then to well-rounded. Miss with attitude. Silence around. A lot.
Them up. You did give them probably.
Little horses, doesn't matter, so long as they eat up. And this one, you'd imagine, would go out and clean out the feed bin.
That was a staying test, wasn't it? That was a real staying test, and she come out on top there, Faint Perfume. I don't think she is any star at all, to tell you the truth. I think she is the classic case of a Bart Cummings timing. She's a little homebred. You heard Bart say there, she's about 15 hands high. I reckon that was her grand final in life. I'm not.
I'd love to disagree. Wrapping up the Flemington Carnival is only a matter of minutes away. It is the Patnack Farm Classic for the sprinters up the straight here at Flemington, and it's quite open as far as the betting.
And steady, all silent, $3.50 out to $4. But that nagging back.
Number 3 is All Silent. Of course, he won the Emirates Stakes here on this day last year for the Bigs and gave them some great celebrations afterwards. He's a half-brother to a very good mare in Private Steer, and he was really good first up, taking out the Gill guy at Flemington.
Unbeaten here at Flemington, loves the tracks being genuinely good. He gets that this afternoon. It's Nakoni $5.50. All Silent on track $4. Apache Cat on track is $4.40 out to $5.50. A little more money for Dan Lee, 21 into 18, Turf on Tane.
Racing. All Silent jumps okay near the outside, so too did Wanted, seeking attention. The baldy-faced Apache Cat got away okay, and also Bank Robber close to the inside. So they all settle down and come to the middle of the course. And as they sort out their order, it's Bank Robber who has the lead. He's in front of Wanted, the 3-year-old, up on the outside. Just in behind the speed is Mick Mac. And then trailed Danley close to the inside, seeking attention not far away. In behind them is Apache Cat, Turfontaine. All Silent back towards the end. He's near the inside with Nakoni out wider. Coming to the 600 metres now, and it's Bank Robber leading narrowly from Mick Mac. Wider is Wanted, Danley close to the inside, room for Apache Cat to come through. Nakoni coming with his run, Turfontaine inside him, and still All Silent last. Inside the 400, Bank Robber tackled by Mick Mac, Wanted running on, and then Apache Cat, Danley boxing on the inside. The favourites are fair way back at the moment. At the 200, still Bank Robber narrowly from Mick Mac, Wanted, Apache Cat. Here comes All Silent, he's flashing home. Bank Robber is tackled by All Silent. That's a fantastic win. All Silent gets up to beat Wanted, Bank Robber and Apache Cat. Coming to wider is Wanted, Danley close to the inside, room for Apache Cat to come through. Nakoni coming with his run, Turfontaine inside him, and still All Silent last. Inside the 400, Bank Robber tackled by Mick Mac, Wanted running on, and then Apache Cat, Danley boxing on the inside. The favourites are fair way back at the moment. At the 200, still Bank Robber narrowly from Mick Mac, Wanted, Apache Cat. Here comes All Silent, he's flashing home. Bank Robber is tackled by All Silent. That's a fantastic win. All Silent gets up to beat Wanted, Bank Robber and Apache Cat. Mick Mac, and then trailed Danley, Turfontaine seeking attention, and Nakoni last. That was breathtaking. That was breathtaking.
He did. Nicholas Hall, I don't think he's ever travelled faster on a horse. That was breathtaking.
Absolutely stunning, that horse, to come from where he was in the field to unleash a sectional like perhaps we've never seen on this track before, and to eat up these superstar sprinters in front of him who were highballing. They were going at their absolute top. He's given them 4 lengths. He's lengthened stride here. Nicholas Hall just said, come on, boy, come on, boy. Giving him a bit more rein. He's kept giving, kept coming. Unbelievable. That is a stunning finish.
He was never on his right leg. Bank Robber in the purple colours dominated the speed. Wanted in the blue colours outside. There's Apache Cat knowing what he's doing, this horse. He's an absolute freak, Francesca.
Yeah, well, we were saying as the race was being run, we didn't think there was that whole amount of pace on. But actually to come from last to first in that short distance, it just shows that he's got the most incredible acceleration and turn of foot that just made the others look like they were standing still almost.
He's a new champion. There's no question about that.
300. Thank God it was Flemington. Yeah.
I don't know what he ran his last 400, and he probably broke the clock.
Yeah, I don't know what his last 200 was, but, you know, it's a very, very...
You again on the Group 1, 397, 370, $1.60, 320.
At the 200, still Bank Robber narrowly from Mick Mac, Wanted, Apache Cat. Here comes All Silent. He's flashing home. Bank Robber is tackled by All Silent. That's a fantastic win. All Silent gets up to beat Wanted, Bank Robber and Apache Cat. Mick Mac and then
Oh, you bet it was. Almost the win of the carnival, All Silent, from last in a sprint, and they got home the field in 33.14. He had to run 32.5 to run past them. Not only run past them, almost a length on the line to beat them. Wanted
do for Nick Hall too. Switches to the outside there in the red cap, and the skip home in 32.5. And Rich, as we were saying on air, second and third have been 1-2. They've crawled through that first 600 down the straight. You know, 2-year-olds go quicker than they did in the first half of the race. He wasn't entitled to pick them up.
I was sitting on a table yesterday and a couple of people backed All Silent, and I said at the 300, I said, you've got none. I said, you have to break ridiculous sectionals the last furlong and a half to win. Well, he could do it. I just couldn't believe he could win from there.
Yeah, I'm lost for words with this horse. There's nothing can describe his turn of foot. He did a fantastic job today.
And when he got that clear ground, I mean, he's put a margin on them when he was 2 lengths off him with 100 metres to go.
Yeah, it's an unreal feeling, Bruce. I can't describe it to you. I'll have to get you on him.
Oh, maybe you have to strap me on the way. Let's go, because I might come off. But
he could go anywhere in the world at the moment, this horse, up to a mile and win against all comers.
Talk about one of the most amazing performances down the straight, and I refer to All Silent. But
Carnival. Yeah. The performance of the carnival for me, I think, came on the last day. To see All Silent do what he did, it was phenomenal what he did.
Graham, the simple fact that the horse never possesses a great deal of speed, but he's actually had 3 splits, 3 200-metre sectionals inside 11 seconds. Overall time of 1:08.78. That is fantastic. But at 400 to the 200, 1064. So there is what you can learn out of sectional times. Irrespective of that, this is some horse, this is some rider, and Graham will be able to let us know.
Words cannot describe that. That is just unbelievable, that performance. He's the best sprinter miler in Australia, and I would even go as far to say he's the best sprinter in the world.
Well, that's a big statement.
Well,
Certainly
name one better than that. Have a look at his record. The only times he's been beat is on wet tracks. He said 6 runs in the wet. I think he's 1 win.
Yep.
And you have a look at his dry and fast track form. His good track form. It's untouchable. Untouchable.
Ronnie, he'd be well suited at Ascot.
Well, look, he'd be well suited in any race. I can't believe that he won the mile so easily last year, and then he would do that in a sprint race.
$6 million race over the mile here is, well, I think the runners are in the yard. We can't quite see them. He walked around for about 10 minutes in the Emirates for 2009.
And he's holding his cool, so you think?
Oh, yes. I do think indeed. No, he's
$9 into 950, back out to 10. Gold Salute is 650 to 8, numbers 9 onwards. No interest in the bottom ones. Walk on a 31 to 26. Rightfully yours, 13.15. And So You Think. They bet $4.60 and now into $4, back into $4.
Favourite So You Think, the 3-year-old. They're off and racing now. And So You Think jumped well in the middle of the line. Oh, Gold Salute didn't jump out of the stalls well. He's back last there with Road to Rock. And Vigor, the first one out. Away quickly, Von Costa to Hero. And So You Think is up there, and he's going for the lead as he did in the Cox Plate. So it's So You Think taking over the running, and he's out by 2 lengths, settling into stride from Walking or Dancing. Kicking forward around the outside, Eagle Falls now gets to second, Vigor back fourth at the 800 now. And So You Think narrowly from Eagle Falls on his outside, 1.5 lengths to Vigor. He enjoys a good run, as does Walking or Dancing. Next is Sniper's Bullet in the orange colours when they neared the corner from All American, Rightfully Yours and Von Costa to Hero. They're followed then by King Mufasa, Red Lord as they swing for home. All American well back and still well back, Gold Salute on the inside rail. So You Think first for home, he leads by 1.5 lengths from Vigor, getting away from the rail. Eagle Falls beaten off, Rightfully Yours and Walking or Dancing are coming at the 300. So You Think by 3 lengths, they haven't got near to him yet. Here comes All American starting to finish off from Rightfully Yours, and then Black Piranha. So You Think in front, All American's a big danger. Oh, he mows him down on the last bit, All American, and sprints away. All American by 2.5, So You Think. Gold Salute flashes home. He'll probably get the third from Black Piranha, and further back then Road to Rock, Rightfully Yours, Sniper's Bullet, Vigor, Chinchilla Rose, and behind them is Triple Honour. And Red Lord is second last, and well, Von Costa to Heroes just virtually walked across the line back last.
He paid a little less on the tote, $30.30 and $7.20. There's all the multiples on screen. Trifecta 937.
One, and the big prices in the Emirates Stakes continue, especially for Hayes. Planet Ruler 30 to 1, Primacy 20, Seascape 50 to 1. It's been a blowout race. The Tears Eye Cries
fell into place for him, I think, to some degree. Yesterday, Herculean performance from the runner-up. So You Think he ran 1.8.2 from the 1400 to the 200, which was absolutely flying. Look, I'm not sure that I'd be too critical of Bossy. He did get a couple of soft ones between the 8 and the 4, 11.7 and an 11.9, and I'm just not sure where he was going to finish up.
Well, that's right, Rich.
But irrespective of that, look, I've got to be honest. I love Glenn, but I'm very critical of his ride. I thought he was too aggressive going out of the gates. From the 1400 to the 12, he actually broke 11 seconds. That's where the damage was started. Then he's unleveled. But then at the top of the straight, he opened him up far too early. And I don't care how good you are, when you're running splits like that, one split is detrimental at the best level. And I'm sorry, I have to be critical of Glenn. He hasn't done much wrong, but I thought he got that one wrong. And I suppose the thing about it too...
That race as well, but I still think the second horse is an absolute superstar. And I think he's still working.
That's the betting for the Sandown Classic. And 350 zipping, going for the 3, 420 at the 4.6. One Master O'Reilly has said that was horrible. We might get a quick chat with Rich. Quickly, Rich, before they go. It's Sporting
and purple.
Okay. Is set and zipping, going for an unprecedented 3 in a row. comes O'Reilly. A length and a half further back, a Scenic Shot, still tucked away with nowhere to go at the moment. Sailor Gear keeps him pocketed. Then Raffaello, here comes Zipping. He starts his move now, and he's quickly going around the field. Miss Barron tries to get onto his back to start a move. Purple leading narrowly. They've bunched up, and here's Zipping. Well, he's come right around the field, and he's going to hit the front before the home turn today. So Zipping out wide, really livened up the Classic. Hits the front from Purple, coming back on the inside. Master O'Reilly is in the middle. They're followed further back then by Miss Marin coming down the outside. Zarita and Raffaello's coming up on the inside. Purple came back at the 400. Zipping is still there on her outside. They're fighting out the race at the moment. Miss Marin running on, and Master O'Reilly from Zarita. Purple still in front. Zipping coming back at her on the outside. Clear of Master O'Reilly. Zipping and Purple. Zipping's coming home the better. Zipping, the three-peat, a magnificent effort. Zipping has got the money from Purple by a long head. 4 lengths away, Master O'Reilly. Scenic Shot. They're followed further back by Raffaello. Miss Marin finishes Ice Chariot.
Well, that's brilliant. The first horse to win this race 3 times in its 122-year history. Michael Rod got it right just. He took off a long way from home. He was pleased he got the result, but that's what jockeys in form do. They make was good.
I think the ride might have been the most brilliant you've seen for a long, long time. There's no doubt when we see Perp 2, 9, 1 and 3. Slow time overall, Bruce, as we have a look at the totes, which suggests to me that the splits will say they weren't going.
Outstanding in defeat. Master O'Reilly brave again. Won up more than $2.5 million, this 8-year-old Zipping, yet to win a Group 1. That's an amazing stat in itself. But it was...
Really? Well, he's a great 2,400 metre horse. And if I'd owned him over the years, he'd have been overseas somewhere running in one of the great 2,400 metre races, because I think that's what he is. He's a great mile.
Is in just a moment. 8:40 my limit. Foolish at 9:30. And watch you back at 11. In fact, let's head to that interview.
Half Monashi Warrior, 1 to Larson. 2 Manic Monday, followed by Watch Your Back. And there goes Mindos and My Limit around them wide, followed by Live Short. Then comes Foolish into the black, trying to pick up ground from Pay Me, and they're followed then by Altica, and then Tabulate and Ferocious. They're into the straight, attack and go at the 400 in front of Sneaky Long. Here's My Limit coming up on the outside, followed by Monashi Warrior, Manic Monday. Now into the blacks, getting in the clear, but My Limit's hit the front. He bolted away at the 200. Into the black, went to second. Tabulate's coming down the outside, but My Limit's well clear of the 100 metres left to go. He's in no danger. Tabulate running to second, then Pay Me. But My Limit's going to bolt in by 2.5 to Tabulate. A half away third, Pay Me. Into the black ran fourth, Every Hope, and then Manic Monday followed by...
Well, it's down on 53.5 kilos with Waratah's Secret next week in the Winterbottom. Some new...
Waratah's Secret, this unbeaten 3-year-old, well, untapped potential. He could be anything. And he's $3.20 to continue that sequence today. Or 10-0 at 370, beaten into 60.
Gathering pace, and he's starting to bustle out Idyllic Prince through the first 250 with Revolution. Kid Schwarzer had to ease back on the inside. Harvey presses forward with Waratah's Secret, however. Ken's Double couldn't get in. They're out followed by Black in Time. Royal Lot Hortensia's back last on the rail. At the 700, Mama Machine taken on by Waratah's Secret. He's going up now and he's challenging Mama Machine. They're a length and a half to Ken's Double, and Idyllic Prince is getting a great camp on the 2 leaders. Noble Steed dropped off quickly. Kid Schwarzer is on the inside coming into the home turn from Sheena Said Grey. Revolution beaten. London's over on the fence. Black in Time. Hortensia a long way from them. In the straight though, Waratah's Secret tackled and headed by Idyllic Prince. It's Idyllic Prince surging to the lead in the Winterbottom. Here comes Hortensia though. Look at her. She's flying. She's got wings. Hortensia gathered up Idyllic Prince. Black in Time, and it's the Victorian. Hortensia came with a barnstorming run to win the Winterbottom brilliantly over Black in Time and the stablemate Idyllic Prince from London. Black in Time, Hortensia a long way from them. In the straight though, Waratah's Secret tackled and headed by Idyllic Prince. It's Idyllic Prince surging to the lead in the Winterbottom. Here comes Hortensia though. Look at her. She's flying. She's got wings. Hortensia gathered up Idyllic Prince. Black in Time, and it's the Victorian. Hortensia came with a barnstorming run to win the Winterbottom brilliantly over Black in Time and the stablemate Idyllic Prince from London. Then came Revolution, Royal Lot, then Mama Machine and Sheena Said Grey. Follow the road, and last home is Ken's Double. Great training effort. Tony Noonan first. 1:08.54 is a new race record. 1:08.54 has broken Ellie Corsams
record set 5 years.
Terrific horse. Look, you can't really make many excuses for the balance of the field. I thought personally that Ollard was very, very game in defeat there. I suppose wins 9 out of 10, but run into a very, very good one. Waratah's Secret, the interesting little 3-year-old that took its place yesterday.
Fell $5 out to $7.50 on course. Experienced colt, and I always all I wanted to do is like. Number 2 is Marconi, Jason Maskill, now only claiming 2 kilos, not 3 as in the book, down to 56 kilos for Mick Price. I suppose the only query is down the straight. It's $1.60 up to $1.80.
He's won 2 races by 6 and 5.5. The Caulfield win was just in.
A Fastnet Rock out of a Moe maiden winner over 2,000 metres.
Well, looks department, no problem. He really looks at Caulfield. The Sporting Bet market mover here is number 4, We're Gonna Rock. And there's just so much interest in him.
Look at them. Oh, Marconi versus We're Gonna Rock.
Marconi's going to drop in for the trail. 2 lengths away, Bohannon, and We're Going to Rock just a little bit lost in the early stages. He's 2 lengths away, last beaten for speed. Heading up to the 600 metres mark in the Sydney Cider. Winter King moved up on the inside or the outside of the favourite Marconi, and they're striding away by 2 lengths on Tarix and then 2 lengths to Bohannon. And 2.5 away, We're Gonna Rock. He's off the pit and is trying to get mobile down to the 400 metres mark. Maskill nursing on Marconi. Winter King's there with him. Then We're Gonna Rock 2 lengths away, starting to come home very, very strongly. He'll have to go Marconi. Winter King's almost got him. We're Gonna Rock's got the lot of them. We're Gonna Rock on the outside, moving up to Marconi, coming home the better. We're Gonna Rock takes the lead, and that's pretty impressive. We're Gonna Rock by a length on Marconi. Winter King third from Tarix. And Bohannon 2.5 away. We're Gonna Rock. He's off the bit and is trying to get mobile down to the 400 metres mark. Maskill nursing on Marconi. Winter King's there with him. Then We're Gonna Rock 2 lengths away, starting to come home very, very strongly. He'll have to go Marconi. Winter King's almost got him. We're Gonna Rock's got the lot of them. We're Gonna Rock on the outside, moving up to Marconi, coming home the better. We're Gonna Rock takes the lead, and that's pretty impressive. We're Gonna Rock by a length on Marconi. Winter King third from Tarix. And Bohannon last in.
Wow, what a run, what a debut. Number 4, We're Gonna Rock. Michael Rod, Mark Kavanagh have got another very good colt on their hands. $3. Wow, that was some debut. Yeah, he's not a bad horse. About 600 out when he was standing Marconi about 6-7 lengths. Were you concerned? Believe it or not, no. He's not a bad horse, this horse. So Coney's a really smart horse, but, you know, we was a bit keen today. Okay, 1,000 metres today. What do you think the pet distance of this horse will be? Probably a mile, maybe even 2,000 metres, you know. We'll wait and see. Well, you're right, the dam did win a Moe maiden over 2,000 metres, so the breeding's the other one, and then easy.
Sorry, at track work, and I handed him around by himself, and it's like, geez, this horse feels, you know, something special. There's something special about him. And
What was it, 7?
For the second last race of the day for the fillies and mares, at this stage, $3.40 to $3. Palazzo de Crystal, $5.50 on course for Sam, full sister to Naturalism, and has had the 2 runs back.
She's going well. She had the fastest last 400 sectional first up at Randwick Saturday ago. It was a good finish there, 1200. Stepped only 100 metres. The mare's race strong as well. We've got a Sporting Bet market mover on screen. There it is, Palacio de Crystal, 260 open, 340 drift into $3. Good money for them up.
But a little bit. Palacio de Crystal and Storm Kite last of all. At the 750, and they haven't gone very quick in front here. Davala's been beautifully rated in front by Kathy and leads out by a length or so on Donna's Honour. Then came Miss SMB, Moonlight Music, Apparitions, I'll Ring You and Dreamy. Then came Yodala, further back behind them, Moorings Capital and Palacio de Crystal and Storm Kite. They'll have to be pretty good to win from there. Davala into the straight, led from Donna's Honour, coming off its back to give chase. And then Apparitions, further back, I'll Ring Ya. And then Moonlight Music, Moorings Capital. He can't get a run on Palacio de Crystal. It's starting to thread its way through. Donna's Honour took the lead. Apparitions and Palacio de Crystal. She's starting to absolutely fly, Palacio de Crystal. Oh, put her in the black book. That is a huge win. Palacio de Crystal beat Apparitions and Donna's Honour. And then came Moorings Capital, followed by El Ringer, and then Moonlight Music, Moorings Capital. He can't get a run on Palacio de Crystal. It's starting to thread its way through. Donna's Honour took the lead. Apparitions and Palacio de Crystal. She's starting to absolutely fly. Palacio de Crystal. Oh, put her in the black book. That is a huge win. Palacio de Crystal beat Apparitions and Donna's Honour. And then came Moorings Capital, followed by El Ringer. Then Davala.
This might be the preparation where she really shines. Palacio de Crystal back an easier grade than a lot of what she's raced in the past, and she was dominant. They hooked her back early. The horse that missed the start, well, within a couple of strides, she was level with this horse, and Palacio de Crystal, they've just sat her out the back, and a good ride too, Nash Rawiller, weaving the way through, and she's come with a really strong run down the outside. Racing. Number 2, Donna's Honour, has finished third.
Yeah, terrific win. All honours with the winner. Up until that, Atomic Force was the win of the day. That's the win of the day. Coming off that moderate tempo with 58, if you don't mind, spotting them 8 lengths, weaving through and beating them. No.
Very, very promising mare, Palacio de Crystal, raced in Group 1 company, of course, at 3, and she's come out here, and that is a dominant run there, getting to the 15.50 here at her third start this preparation. But
Early on in the week, well, bang, crash, wallop, away we go. 410, 340 to 440 to 350 on track. Spinny 14 to 16. Lynch and Academy 10 to 950. $21 taggers. Palacio de Crystal's been well back 18 to 7. And Adna.
He's got a number of runners in the race. Number 12, Palacio de Crystal, a mare that's always shown really good ability, and she broke through for a strong win at the Kenzo last time.
Yeah, it had been a while between drinks. She certainly exploded last time with the 58. She's got no weight on her back. She's always the horses at the opportune time, and she looks cherry ripe for today. But it is a huge jump up from a benchmark 76 race, fillies and mares, Rich, here to the Villiers. But no weight, that's what 17 into $15. Hairy, 18 out to 20. Lovin, 26. And Palacio de Crystal, 8 into 650. Very well supported.
Parfumia, followed by Love and Kisses Offender. It's a long way back. So too is Hairy Lyceum Academy. And Palacio de Crystal is whipping them in the Villiers. They've got 500 to run. And Rags to Riches trying to lead all the way. Led from Rockwood, who's getting closer on the outside. Rabuka is third. He's starting to come up 3 wide. Then Spinny, and further back behind them next Adnacon. Wider out on the track, Tag Us. And Palacio de Crystal's coming right down the outside. Rockwood raced up to Rags to Riches. Rabuka's a length away. He's flat at the moment trying to reach them. Palacio de Crystal and Parfumia is getting a run in the centre. It's Parfumia going to the lead. Palacio de Crystal comes at it on the outside. They run to the line. Palacio de Crystal has won the Villiers. She came from last to get the money and beat Parfumia. Third might be Spinny in front of Rabuka. And then came Rockwood, followed then Spinny, and further back behind them next Adnacon. Wider out on the track, Tag Us. And Palacio de Crystal's coming right down the outside. Rockwood raced up to Rags to Riches. Rabuka's a length away. He's flat at the moment trying to reach them. Palacio de Crystal and Parfumia is getting a run in the centre. It's Parfumia going to the lead. Palacio de Crystal comes at it on the outside. They run to the line. Palacio de Crystal has won the Villiers. She came from last to get the money and beat Parfumia. Third might be Spinny in front of Rabuka. And then came Rockwood, followed by Lyceum.
Wood, and then also Rabuka. They chased the hot speed, and they were sitting shots, and Parfumia.
Palacio de Crystal comes at it on the outside. They run to the line. Palacio de Crystal has won the Villiers. She came from last to get the money and beat Parfumia. Third might be Spinny in front of Rabuka. And then came Rockwood, followed by Lyceum.
Wood, and then also Rabuka. They chased the hot speed, and they were sitting shots, and Parfumia.